fiada bia ye boja ye ofema awurade akwa wasan go Kwame Nkrumah Tikese me mo show president of the land for Bible ni enkinkai onyankopon asem odifo Jeremiah nwoma no etire dumienu imu baako ede eba the book of Jeremiah chapter 12 verse 1 ede eba yenti onyankopon asem awurade semene ubo nkura obedi bimara nanso me no bakasara adentina obonefo kwan si wonyi na nkonkonsafo nyina nso ho dwo won wotawon na oji nyini onyinyini na wososo abanso oben won ano na woni won akoma ntam twi nanso awurade wonim me wo me na wo som akoma hwe sɛde etie tutu won sɛ nwan a wo koku won ne hyira won susie okumuda enkosi da ben na mini asase so abobo na afuom ahahan entwintwam ɛsofo bɔne nti amen. Odifo Jeremiah na edru baabi na wonte nsɛm bi ase edru baabi na adwinum ya ne kesere ne edru baabi no na wonte ase sɛ ɔno obata awurade hu wo di hia niema anya betema no nanso woni a wonkwa asɔre ensa wɔwe adwaman wɔbɔ konkonsa wodi enuro so wɔkɔ wɔn mo kwan si wɔn yio wo live good life enya wɔn sɛ nipa bi wɔ wa afidura ne yakofa ne so meye afode chairman asore no mabio enso
okay FM 101.7
niema nyina akototi eno no Jeremiah entiase ye mu bi o wa bia ye entiase akonchene be ye ne ben ye nye ne wa asore ho enso mfie be de wo ni adwuma ye nya bi Erade buam yo na mentwa advance yo ensi aga ye tumi afridanum enkwara na tifie no enso mpa ye ben na omboye business awoye no wusika hye akonchene ben na wonyeye eno na Jeremiah odwendwen ho minim se nipa bia wotie mi anopai wo dwendwen ho se aden se mbesum nyankopon na ye se ba nsom no na ye fi se bonifo akwan siniye na me tini ni de mebre eno kan se o awurade se me no bo nkura wo bedi bim awurade se me no gina ho se ye keka wo bedi bim because bia de wo mame no daachi no mani huru bia niema bia me bo ho mpa ye no se wo di mame se ya minimi kwa na nwie bia adwuma bia me ba me pese me kwaye no a me bo ho mpa ye no me nyankopon so di mame anhwe adwirim die be koso me de mafra e de me akotum anhwe amahwe me nkwa nti wase onyankopon mini ummonkuru nanso me no bekasa ade nti na abonefo kwan si wonyi ade ye de da bia ye harvest e wa asori a This do 5 cities. More 5 cities ni more makar momra. Bedru bronya afini kwa wie ya me bra san manya akukọ bi kwa ni nkwara na di. Nyesa madi boni bi o. Anopa yi yeni a yadwendwen saa no. Onyankopon asoma se men kan kire wo se. Ebre no du a obehye wani munyam. Ebre no du a odi adom bi bebrɛw. Ebre no du a obebiem kwapono. Ebre no du a obema nhire bi aba. Ebre no du a odi adom bi beba. Ebre no du a obepagyaw. Wodi an se obenya ni mugidie. Na watena ne na ase na ebesu yie se ne Yesu krayi. Adom ti ne yegyina saa asemi so abompaye. Christ otiase fagidie kase amen. Ye kenkan every the book of Isaiah chapter 12 verse 1 ede ba ebepim 5. Unya bra na wakenkan na waboso empaye. Onyame asem nie fagidie kase amen.
God bless a homeland, Ghana motherland, faithful and together. Hello my brother, 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 hello my brother.
Teaching Bia Ghana my betu pon na wo mamba power jini Ghana ho kane. Teaching Bia anya na magani amagashia ni hu amagawo ho. Teaching Bia eyegigi.
One parliament members, I tell them don't listen to me, Ghana move. Hello man, one parliament members, I tell them don't listen to me, Ghana move. Hello man, well are you excellency, we strong and never give up. Hello man, one time your excellency, we strong and never give up. Hello man, let our doctors take great attention on the operations and save lives. Hello man, can you say bye to corruption, bye to discrimination, bye to favoritism? Hello man, can you say bye to corruption, bye to discrimination, bye to favoritism? Hello man, hello.
My fellow Ghanaians, Ghana past 50, so we avoid corruption and stealing.
Them happy to no go have Ghana group. Me for now, I no go play plasma.
Hello my brother, hello my brother, hello my brother.
Teaching Bia Ghana my betu pon na wo mamba power jini Ghana ho kane. Teaching Bia anya na magani amagashia ni hu amagawo ho. Teaching Bia eyegigi.
Praise the Lord, we ought to give you thanks and praise. God bless our homeland, Ghana motherland, faithful and together.
Long live Ghana.
We gonna build Ghana strong.
Okay, 101.7 studio for your transfer Ade Akye Abia medium na memfa we mfam na afe yentoa enkomo no so na yenko ni gidi na akoso agwagwaje abeka mensa ewo ha ago memo wache
eje so Kwame
appointment ni ba wo de be baati
sa Kwame nyame tiase
but so far so good.
Okay.
One say appointments are President Mama eye no I spread it.
Okay.
Enye ba aku no bi a utimi bob maku be 20 ni nyina free eastern region. Anye ni nua aye no wo fa ase. But the why hwe ako
Kwame
nipa ni bi wo kora na wo mo en support na bit. But we appoint to
Kwame won say me can say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama or one advantage wabako. Wo hu ni mistakes a wo ye. Wo hu niema bi a anko yi. Wa betena the other side a wa wish say I wish say me send opportunity bi and can correct my wrongs.
But nipa bi wo so a
online it.
Online it.
Aye. It's a make us say
serving teach you know
Adina with the trim.
Menya babie ma me
yeah but I believe say you soon experience no well Kwame say wa ba kono wo upper hand say wa ko sit back 8 years o Kwame wa ko sit back for 8 good years wo hu omo na omo na appointment mu a na womo eye hypocrites wo hu omo na omo wo mu a wo mo de anim guase bre no wo hu omo na omo na mamu mu a na womo mpena sem but na eye position ntia Kwame wo hu omo a okọ opposition no womo ba radio so be keka bi kire no Kwame
we saw it
ye hu omo be kan no oh yes omo kra omo na appointment no e kire omo be tan no
but now radio so busa say
yes
papa ne kwa aprobo no mo omo appointment no mo wai campaign mo wai
Kwame say de no unse wo mu a na obi aba no postrate before you said your power sem ba Kwame wa ho hiahia mu ebra bibia bowo na ma hu adofo it wo kwotena se for 8 years Kwame oni wo mu a wo mu position na wo mu frɛ ne biem
mame mo ade
Kwame wa kwotete nsam wo akire nsam bia nipa bi ebra no wo president nsam bia nipa bi kae wo hu wo mu o maba radio so TV so stable no in the back enti Kwame this time around I believe say
oye nyansafo
yes said wo kan you obi ya nesua de wo de ya adwuma obi wo kra said ko benya sa wicked mind
mame ma wade
Kwame metie
minim nipa bia o kai se ache meni obi ti se onunyamfo right honorable Kings for Smana Kings for Bagbin edi nkomo wa ha emo kan say the president is naked o kan say he's been ruling a mind with family and friends the first time better is our word no be koba say ohia no say obetoa so ewo speakership no wo yi no Nese
Kwame wo no wo pede wo betimi aye adwuma no nyese opana sana
wo ni mafa but amanyoko ne ye to wi a ye nkambom
ne anya oman no so wo betimi aye abaye ma me because Kwame say at the end of the day no say we place competent people at the right places on the benefit and no ebebo ni din Kwame omo a ofa omo previously no a oma meye omo niema yie no enim kwase ne ba Kwame nyo no ne so aye
yes
it this time around no o place the right people at the right place omo betimi aye adwuma no at the end of the day no you see bibia falls on leadership everything rises and falls on leadership bibia sorry na esa ba fom etu panidie so enti Kwame wa go to wa share our experience and we ye mompa ye man say all the wisdom na wanya over the 8-year period na no wo fie no Kwame wo hu mistakes aban we aye
oniema ahwie gu na wo hihye
Kwame wo hu mistakes aban yi aye because what kan wo call yi asori no kan sem bi o kan say no mo hu say de ato aban we de Ghana for de aye no nti se mo so mo ba na se ma ye ne saa sana Ghana for nso de be ye mo se Kwame ye hu say omo si hini tu hini no omo si hini tu hini so wan sum omo yi a omo be kyerɛ wo papa wa
enchepi ena metena ha e kan say wo bo bibia so aye se finish ni ha be komo di nipa no
che se hye ho no
ena me kan say obi amfa na dwene nkoto aba koso hwe nipa se komo de no na wona ma asfatu so a wo hu
this na fu abomansa
akoso a hungry man
is an angry man
there be light is so a wo hunu
e kom de no onya aduane di na se kane ani ho kura na ho beto no
yes wo call election 2 days to election what to fu am what are you talking about we had people omo kasa kire nipa eso omo mu nipa and then I listened to a voice the running mates for Dr. Mahmoud Baumia or say obi Omaru Sanda and the ebusa ne say
as have video na trend part this week
say wo Ashanti vote no a na eso de ba no wa amfa ama or say Baumia ntwusu no say because o ya Ashanti nintia na de tosu mienu eye sebi enkwase question so bebusa be ka say Ashanti vote no wo de ba ya na wa amfa ama na Baumia no so no one so no the nothing vote by. How do you talk like that? When we na sham krofo abufuo. Bi say Ghana for no so one fair ni dia mano a wo mo to me no ye nsam na wo
si ahenefo etu hene
si ahenefo tu hene unfa ntum hofo
and committee eno na wo kan say president no kwa wa kan che ne krofo say mu hwe de to waban we
ai
say mu ba no mu so ma meye am o manfo na ehu se mo ye committed to their development, to their freedom, to omu yedie ne wo well-being dia. Saa no mo be ye. It wo mate wo ho ase de Kwame ye. Se amanyofo no omani te saa na menu no ai omani te
the way I see lose wo constituency wo
ai first no omodwin say eno ano no o ye dan ya Ghana for do de bibia to wa ye beto
ai
eso wo mahu say
how the Ashanti region for the ayemu
ai say nye bibia na wo ton wa ye to Kwame say nye bibia na wo ton wa ye to no omodwin say oh Ashanti region de wo de robot kora kwasi wa na de NPP voter region de what the robot crack was on the NDC Kataswa and one.
And is there who are good? I could make okay, 101.7. So, here are Samson Kwame Yamiche, a general manager, Emma Hello FM 101.5. Now, was signed a tonkra at the Maya. Now, you're not going to come. The Atian say, or Hinibi, Nipa Kobonitio, Ama, what hearing Kwa. Now, as someone at say, you better bomb say, very established contact. Yani yeru asam Kwame Nyameche enso atwe enkomo na mom yeru asam Kwame Nyameche maaye moma memfa wei emfam na afei yemkɔ enim bi pa chaw efiada bia endpoint Homeopathic clinic eida special day. The special day no odima for chronic disease yare kwankro nti se o ma me wa na yare unua oba bomonen na echo endpoint Homeopathic clinic na wokwa di oyema wonie what the diagnosis be so obey your diagnosis na diagnosis na obey wo no obey ma na kama papa hwe ba bia yare no wo na obi mu sase yare ben na wo ka ho asemi yare be na wo ka ho asemi na die tienie
okay FM 10
yare be tse diabetes epilepsy yare be tse sciatica yare be tse ni yare be tse ulcer oba ne be ma amopa wo wo diabetes etware yare ni nyina amomra endpoint Homeopathic clinic me ba jo hepatitis kura de otu ase ho mfiri okura ene yare aka ni nyina da bia wo sora no party so aye bo bra endpoint Homeopathic clinic ntu ase emfa mfiri wo na mfa ma wo yare bia wo ye sin free wa bra enye herbal shop ena enye ba bia surgery or the homeopathy nro ene na yare sa ene sa yare emanoko endpoint Homeopathic clinic no aside homeopathy nro amaw eduro no any side effect be pa cho to mirika bo awon asoye na won sa yare manen ko machines ahodo de be hwom ansa no de homeopathy nro na maw our Spinters Road Shell signboard Spinters Road Shell signboard Accra tema computer to do after wajan shako straight to Poji Garden full center the clinic Kumasi branch no Nkrumah boy Angel education school na chipe Takrade branch no Anaji police station na chipe wabie bi wabunu techima henswa ena wabie bi enso ewo eye Takrade Eziama me pa me cho doctor Edubuaten ama mo 30 minutes mo adawroma mo fan frɛ no na kama yare eche no ansa kora na waduru ho ono an ekuta phone no hye ne nso number no ye 0244 86 70 68 0244 86 70 68 0244 86 70 68 0244 86 70 68 endpoint Homeopathic. Here was something coming up at me adru amano so ene ntwe kombo bra sa me wache
ye ni akwa
na boko de
oh na me ademo
na ohini ben ana yesi amimfo bi akobo ntu akunu
yeah I Kwame esina nsanne anajo ewo kokobin sa kokobin we ni nya Kumasi enye ahinema kokobin na mum we ni wo barkasi a chance empatamono na ohwa ya atwuma ngobieja north constituency. Na ntie kakra ye checks aye from Swami police. Actually say a Wednesday na amajo. Enna aye dienya okofo bo nana boatin. Kakra yenim ewo no ho ene say so you obi o social media pa TikTok a kana gene ewo ho pa na opie abra wo ba fie no ewo negate mra wo ye so obe bie negate na entrance ewura mo ena emimfo bi ebo ni tuo amajo no na omo tie esi akwara na ade na ba na so ofie obi anto ebi say investigation just say ono akasa de na busua na yene na ma na eni Ghana omo amanone nto ono ena wa ha eya no kono aba na yese tio no amam 40 but abia sa to be esuro so be pie enti ade chain enwa obi twem ena ohun se opanyin no eda entrance gata ano ansa na wo tietie ma ofra amamfo a omu pie omere se eye saa na naboatin ena omo amamfo agene nkwa afri ne nsem nti omo fra police fo a crime scene from Swami ekọ ho no ma omo ekoye ya na chese tio omo de bone kokoso a omo kuna esi ameka se police fo enya obia enchi no omo ye investigations enti Kwame ubusamia ikakra minimum no saa na boatin na meka se TikTok de omo ye fan of TikTok no omo nim no a kana gene ewo ho no pa nti saa na see
na no musa yesi oye hini a dabre wa free ayakonya so
ba don say
yesi oye hini na wa free akonya so saa na tie
me check from assemblyman or what some patron me try some no be saa na mate and ba ko so say sisi a onyo hini no why no serve acclaim chief and e bi so why ohini da na asa ontie kunya so piem nti saa adie mi nu we na me mate na me nya official adie bia no me mpese meka se ani ana se dabi na when the dressing me hu ebi wo kwa TikTok no de e no kire se eye obi oyo hene ebi se senior osi dress de ko ba bi no onyo hene unti win dress sa e ji so ebi a sisi ade onyo hene dia just me check be sa na me so me mate no
efie na wotimu no wono ane dia na ono nko ana timu ono obia nya ono obia na tie
mate se eyo ono ani fie na o tenant ewo ho enisia na ase so ono nko abet me police for na kasa no o mo tie se enani pa wo fie ona etuo no toye no na obia esuro so obepie abere I said mo fie a ebi am entran what say etuo to ba enti em se ena em so obia atoto ewe enti no em so obia kopim se ade chiwie ya obi twem ho se opanyin no eda entrance on
I see na sabre no am se abobe se obu tete mu
Kwame time no me nya first year bi nya free by 9 echo e bi so ka se na ade asapa but o hwe eniema na e ka no na eye dia no akoto enti ma dwene be me se enti me nya ahomache because ahomache de dia no koto e dia no sa atam e de kwen enti be ya amajo be around 9-10 no because dia ne awato a yesu so oba bedi na no na e ka no.
Oh, okay. Na baby a wote no eho ye ebi sabi ewo akire kakra na se okurum.
Eye baby a wono ye bom from a new site.
Okay. Na se oban ayi sa TikTok na ya na nsem ben woka.
Oh, ayi content kakra o Kwame me o de se sia o Kwame se o ya branch e kra se me. Me no we be say me nya fan of TikTok but kakra me hu no me content no me hu me colleagues am bi ba ko ma me hwe. Eye wo mo aya wo mo etimi ebia me pese be bobodi but wo mo a aya wo mo fa ohene bi na bi o ma kansem nsem fata de fa no no so for side pakro na bi ya amanone fo enti wono so foul wono so ebo bi an do trans and then you wake kan agene akyerɛw mahu bi a ɔhene bi a ɔno so wɔ Ghana ha a me pese me bo bantam no em say issues bi by em say ɔhene ne position na ɛwɔ mpɛ nti ɔno so fine ɛna brochire for ɔmo ya loud on social media no ɔmo no dey obi ana say ɔmo keka ɔmo agene kyerɛ panyin bi wɔ Ghana ha na ɔno so afa saa nipa kwa na wo yɛ fa na ɔno so ɛde amema so far kakra me nya fan of TikTok back idea me when me say content na na TikTok message na another content is sanity.
Oh, I see. Na ni fie mu obenfie sei and oyire wo ma
obewo ebia early 60s or late 40s.
Okay. Now wo ma oyire
oyire wo ma ne ma do de minim beto mo wa abrochi.
Oh, okay. Na yire ye boga ene ne ma. Oh. It is a positive why then one more de munu
akwa. Me ye me check. It's been running now mo investigations are omugusu amoye nembom se CIA kase die me ne oba be kase kra me police phone bi kase behind the scene no mo enya ade omo enya obi ache.
Oh yo miura ene yenya ne ha ne yenhwe ebedu awiabe na nim se bibi atimi apie susu ewom
yo Kwame
me se me da sepa yo Yera Samson Kwame Nyameche afuniba ene ne na atwetwe nkomo general manager ma hello ye station bata ba ko e wokuma hello 101.5 so ena oye principal reporter ma despite media na ayare wosem na ako adie we me ne watena ka ho asem da sa TikTok social media no obi o se me pese me nya views na wapɛ ohempopro bi kuni ya nintre bi wadinatem firi sura kopim fom bi wo wa the words are so unprintable
asa ano
hye na obi o wa bia o de beche obi o nso a onfanche krono bomu obawa krono akwa aba obi o wa de beche obi o wa onfanche enkonkonsa ubedi afankrofon ubebre obi o wa de beche obi mfanche obi o so kura wanye ohwe but so wonu obi ye biribi etie obi a wabusa no sunsun ewo mu obi o wa ako oma wo mfa nani munyam a wode mfie bebre apɛ eni agro kosua enkuro bi wo West Africa me pese me yi kuro no ba kokora sei se oye oman bia oye governor oye hwan na wo no wo de ebia mamiska me de naked pictures e ba be gu abonten akosua me nka 2 days kora 30 seconds 30 minutes obesoma me abikum obe fra bia bekum sisi a enti mesremo asem yi areho mom yan hwɛ de aba no na yɛmfa enye esua de se medi views wo bi papa wo bi hene
wo si medi views keke senko formation me pese me trendy
hwa abrochire obi ha onfa ho obesoma me abekum ba bi a wo
me pese me trendy keke
ana anka ma me ho asem
na mfa trendy
ana anka unua no ho asem ana anka papa ho asem akoyemfa bibi mfem
Kwame mame chance said wo kan ye no omampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama woguso eyi na soafo omobeye adwuma ede amano na omampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was submitted ministerial nominees 9 ministers of state eka ho and 3 regional ministers or the akwakoma speaker of parliament said the beya approval ebekoso na release na omode eba no the spokesperson Felix Kwachu Fosu and Nansa Eshase. Now our name of former minority leader and member of parliament for Tamale South Haruna Idrusu as the minister designated for education. Into Honorable Haruna Idrisu na yabo ni din so mayo so afo behwe ngumasuen so. Na MP for Esunafo South, Honorable Eric Opoku, and so Ministry of Food and Agriculture is Womedano. MP for Adaklu, Kwame governs Agboja, or so Yafano, so Wamayo Swafo Beche Quine, any quantum so. Na enwechi no san nipa wabo mo pa na se nipa wa fo mo dwuman so mo emeye ebia eka ho bie ye Ministerial nominees no ene MPs Mashebedwe no Obanda Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim wa fan say Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. Techimai North Mashebedwe ni Elizabeth Ofosu ejare ono so wa fan of say ono so Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry. Shama nso Emilia Arthur, Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture, and MP for Krowo Dr. Agnes na Momo Late. On also so wafano say omehede Gender, Children and Social Protection Ministry. Mashebe Juni Woke to South, Elnobu Jifa Gomashi, Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, and National Youth Organizer Emma NDC Amanyukuno, Giorgio Pare Ado. So I found the Minister designate for Youth Development and Empowerment. Now other 3 persons are Wafa Womo, one nominated or Master Regional Ministers no Wilbert Petty Brichum. I say Western North and what she Eduamwa Echo Penyin Ochre for Central Region and Joseph Nelson so for Western Region. Kwame.
Ako wa ya die bi na me ba ye be ya analysis no.
Okay.
Regional balance and at this time affirmative in action no so aye adwuma. Ma no efra memenu
pa
and after regional balance no so wache composition no kama pa. Ako me kwa ba na ke say wo wi na memwo no o ma ne nsene fa say dudu anu en free region bi irrespective of say the city bia me kuma ba why.
Kwa me kobra.
Yo. Ora Matthew Kitcha enyamam I hope say my body ni ye oye kroba ewo adan na yene no entwetwe enkomo eja Matthew Kitcha me mochi
yo video so
na won to say
na do mo me ho ye pa
na adan e fa nkyene ho asem pa no e de be na ekoso ho
okay Mamifa Konya Wena Micha your president, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, and I Micha TF1 in Adamani na Mifri Ada, and I Mifri Aklabanya. The sending king channel is from Dangwe Biawe, so I'm from the Royal House in Aklabanya.
Okay.
So what is happening at that Ade I just say you know you condemning. Because constitutional man, clear say, but me adani so tree no a bear some. So constitutional my understanding say all minerals is being invested into the president. At the back point, I say you say over 50 years, not some lagoon na fasobia anisu unless issue talk and sana to me here it. The insurance thought the access to get sea water no na and to me and yes we all. So your hininu echo your former president and was say oh your minister constitution is a minerals no sa power no ever president who your power chona should investors my na on back room or on bed develop so that youth are ever room on bed on benya juma aye your president so one tradisa or the OCI or your or the investor no na Dr. Daniel Macaulay and do your friend say Magdan or the electoral kemaba but at the back one just say na you say and you say Dr. Magdan or sorry kekebeji adanson but you say na you say adan there were 2 members of parliament adan by then Honorable Christian Otute from Sege and I will do you comfort Kuju Kanza also our Adan, so we have 2 MPs. Even in the floor of parliament by then, we are minority. No? Doyo is a minority whip. So our position of parliament. Adeba Kwame minimum say, Omudi assembly echo parliament. parliament ratify here almost a committee ebadan me pese ye tie for ni na ati ase say almost the 41,000 acres ma investor asase ni na 41,000 acres ye wo MPs wo ho and omunim said the boys no mu ye wada salt galamsey illegal mining enye omudi rubber tampuli and ye ikinu and it's not good for our health. Now munim say 41,000 acres omudi ma Dr. Magdano Sundodua and then mo aka wo parliament also say 41,000 acres omudi ma Magdano edosu ye manu 30,000 acres ye fa 10,000 acres no ma Nkrumah or your investor. So opening say obefani fine. Say opening on 41,000 acres in an opera. Obet me ako na e ba ko sise obia obet me LG 30,000 acres di we be ma Nkrumah.
Na Ankemati
say sana ye MPs no pay. But mu ina tra ho e place so mo fa 41,000 acres no man. E no be 41,000 acres ni na man. E na nipa no be develop ho. And as I say, no for air rising against companies say NDC are winning power, so we're taking over the Songola.
Now, I give it to you.
Yes, sir.
Before then, the thing is individually, a family cinema, and then your source of livelihood, and I am Mudi. And you know, while Mobaba Beji, I'm one company, no, Monson baby, I'm Mobedi, no, now who you're doing. Emma, as one also say, was okay. Obey employment na my ejuma and it sounds me to say
Minya say obi ka sa asem che onu adanu ye wo middle belt and ye wo baby amu ye songo no there ye wo amu wo epuna no ho mu ko epu even middle belt no ebi wo ho mu ye omudo asana songo no wo ho songo na wo no a omu with around the songo ka ye obi an e ko en na me ka just say before unless every year unless it's your talk and sana as I'm talking to you now Dr. Magdana have employed over 3,000 people omu ejuma ho only the osare owadri amafo omu within that area ni hu because akpalabanya say ye ko point me fast songo ba ho so omu around the area or boni copy to fropo media minapa on why community plans ema omu community ni but you for in Dr. Magdan aye community plans ema Nkrumah omu around the Songo Laguna or the mom say where community plans so it's for the community and omu uswa even say asana make no kaza no ajima copy omu community plan omu anya sika roof here omu square over so many years omu to me after that no osan outgrower scheme say on him say ye wa danu say who person who ready who ye enchina mu ye group say mu from 40 and 30 mu ba company ho environmental protection agencies for ho omudu begu etitiye mu ni way na omu register as we are talking now about 17 people register omu ye den omu asasi omu ye omu pass amawa omu monitor mu say your old way of doing the sort no say aniama sisa say would be a sort galancy a tian kwa opuko to rubber now the shishagu rubber so na evia born asana wanya chi na obi ba ko this aikin so be catch you say waji livelihood free obrisema me catch you say anukra bia nim on my community part and upea you better me aba na ya call me do all the place our community passing na any outgoer scheme na the airport only say yeah NDC for work and work on my press conference now him on be press conference I was sitting in front of NDC office because who the do honorable do you can oja say who the honorable Tikese also can so omu dey company no year politics is like MPP amreso na buy na say na mu year see but it's wrong omu wa anyamam omu ko omu nyewe omu nye ikin asen so we kai a edru maybe wadan omu see light fishing omu stop here no o ba so mbeka say omu wepu ho ni na wadan mu see omu pin ni we ni na because that is what they do pu no mu ko but communities are more around the Songo Lagoon in Nanu. Dr. Magdan, your community plans. Kesia pa and yes something small. Community plan kesia Emma communities no. So also over to me no. As I'm speaking to you now, electrical salt harvesting. asana NDC for ko attack company ho a evia enchin essay nyama wo ho eya bibia basa enya asem to a me si me ko ho no me re ho ye say ye adafo anka airport tema port be wa adan but ye nananum sata no so mu pini sa assembly ya tema port na ba se ya ko tema new town wo ba hu me chrome for adafo a omu da kiosk mu wo tema new town anka tema port no wa adan by this time omu be da kiosk. So yeah, war is a higher. I can't tell my pot what them by this wada share the ejuma bebada. Bato hospital, I can say the same attitude. We say me penny as I see we media and on the hospital no echo bato for the etum. And then obibe ya wada before we didn't be far segis or we didn't call through bato no way. Sana epe. Na nipa na and can the hospital no be segi. And but they were everywhere. Aka adna and sege they were everywhere. Now yeah, we don't respect our chiefs. We don't respect our chiefs. Yet God done before no. Yet guys are the naye fire of Boma ye penny for no. Yet for Boma ye hininu. Yeah, that for yes you are dear free Asante man who said Asante man or mubu or muhininu. They respect their chiefs. The Asantes respect their chiefs, and we God done to learn that to respect our chiefs. So bibi yenim say chiefs no and of the assassin man Dr. Magdan yeti bibi asia we have to go to our chiefs na yako bi some na bi omu wa no mo aka kire but it's wrong say the blabber say yesem na ye bu ye hinu so ba press conference at chiefs no ye I'm saying on authority say ye God done before ye jai sa de no now we should give respect to our chiefs because who to me konje we was antimem Yehusa mu year good. Bibia was at the moment as at the youth back. Sorry, say or play because of system koyes and that is what is bringing God down way back. We don't respect our chiefs, and that is the major problem. And I'm appealing to all the youth. I'm appealing to all God down with border. It is time that we change things to give respect to our chiefs and our opinion leaders in Adan, so that Adan will develop. As I'm talking to you now, the NDC guys when they storm Electrochem. Destroy things, the steel machines, steel things, Basa. Doyo came on air on Ige FM and on Oko FM that President Mahama said that everybody that went in there that is NDC president when they stopped the company, President Mahama said, I believe President Mahama said, and also President Mahama from Doyo. I have the tape here, is on my phone. Or see President Mahama from IGP. And IGP no for no honorable do no and omudi or muba ada na omube check all the police stations says omuki and this in the bituma omuyi omina so no be me say omuyi omina what am be say I know President Mahama e obi a odi mbraye adwuma so you fan say aka jata cement and NPP amreso na bae and boys be NDC for the mbrase omusem eko skata nyama wo jata cement say cars any bibia wo ho a President Mahama be kan say omuja omana ana ye fan say MPP ne wo power ana PPP ne wo power ana CPP ne wo power and Ibrahim Mahama is a businessman and Ghana it was a businessman e wo Ghana obetumi abo my way atumpo and omu be say President I was no we fan say kindaje pana Dr. Mambomia ana gum na president and I see because of Omuya the boys are only party boys are muko destroying Yama wa Ibrahim Mahama the company are odi onu akasa ni sweating ni sika ye na ye jaum sana ye. So I'm pleading to His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama say asem way adoyo beka ye no and my boys no still they are attacking the company because of buy beka wa na say President Mahama so mu jai obi a okọ say nyama wa obi investment over billions of dollars. So President Mahama Sumanu so on be you money na free prison and even on record that police forward now omo achi boys no ba kumpo up to when I mean catch your police no wa down achi boys ba kumpo say Mrani Ghana na and the American say you were Parliament House say we MPs no muti bibiasia go back to Parliament House and do the right thing. Go back to Parliament House and do the right thing. And I make me say President Mama Babu ni copy on or catch you say Obaye no before God the man or catch ye say what that say. They almost say a problem ni ye kwan any issue. So Oba petitions are only banning and obesushem
na or the year better year. President Mama says, I can one match here. So then I hear what now. I hear go and animals, I hear go here in for any match. We are disgracing at now, we are disgracing our chiefs. The President Mama say, Oba, or Bessia Bibiana, I hear the Abelian. I then I hear President Mama Kawanya one match here. Now the tension I ever dance is not small.
I see.
Tension I ever done is not small. And some of us we are not happy as people from Adan. Because we are disgracing our kids, we are disgracing ourselves. And at the SC Wadan say investor bank no be place or the Nisika Bebada. The SC Wadan say Siana farmers ever honu omube dog ya na tomatoes na pro. Extra say nya tomatoes factory wo. Investor bank no the Nisika so the bad because of this attitude. Say bibi wo na there is a mistake crap one. We should give respect to our chiefs. We should give respect to the law. I yet pass it through the right way to get whatever we want. We should pass through the right way to get whatever we want. But the law no else here same meaning Ghana will not be safe for us, and even Adan will not be safe for us. Look at Adan. There is no proper development. Electrical my bad and issue come I do every amount for on. Electrical my issue our moon. Water project electrical mayor. Astrotef, Asiama po omu nim Astrotef, omu nibi wasiama. But Dr. Magdan or yes sports village wadan. Ufiwa schools are all bomb. Even as I'm talking to you now, Bedeku school omu to me near roof anyway. Omu ye we are no mu say omu hiambom. Electoke neko Dr. Magdan. Over 1,750 women are omu interest free loan. Omu ko Jesus canoa. So we give 5,000 no better. Na me ni awoni ma wan wasen
Dabi.
Omu ko ji sika no wo company ni ho no. Omu say adan song o sika so omu tua abo 50% antua. But once you obia omu ye committed that omu give 2,000, 5,000, 6,000 utua we a no mama ofufu. But omu ji sika no say Dr. Magdan sika no so omu ye we a. Onko ti obia. So your fund is a nipa we e di we e breye. Now, as we are speaking to you now, about 4-5 people every are now outside. Even as we are speaking now, yes, Sege police or Muka Konya accident to pick up. Pop it and top pick up mom. So I mean, sometimes I don't understand. Or more school fees. Any the all Triama Kufa or Mua down and Yasan Kitwa. So I then I train. So Mama 15 years. Since Yasan or Konya 4 years. We should wait and see 50 years and you know our parliament to ratify man no. Bien never free maba.
Okay. Mama,
unless move boy. Okay. Now we need to educate the youth in advance. As I say, young say brand idea there or Ghana. Now yes, Dr. Magdan sorry songo, but parliament ratifies parliament sit on it, and our MPs also are in support of the company. Our demand. So and then it is not because of NDC about power. And now what again?
Mini amame na wase minim say we na ba ye bekoso di hu komo why. Mr. Vedas ya no achia Dr. Macaulay amami Magdan. Bacho me da sepa. Matthew Kicha Anyaman ena menene edi enkomo okay 101.7 suni. Na ya boma mane social media ma hu ene ye ni Honorable Musa Superior ebeye 1-on-1 ewa ha manya nkrakra se wabedu na was former mayor of Tamale eti ye ne betutwe nkomo wa ha nti hye no nso efama yen enche kra ka kire onua so onua tie wo question bia so busa Honorable Musa Superior efa ensem a efa MPP party ne ho a ene ensem a efa oman ho a wo de be fa number we me pa cho ye text message na WhatsApp enfre wo fra obi enfa 0208 772 772 0208 772 772 0208 772 772 enti ene enche ye ni Honorable Musa Superior former mayor of Tamale ebetwetwe enkomo mami fan krayin fam na feyensa ento aso me pam chaw Kai Owesco Limited. Me pa cha uwo adwuma ye, uwo job biye. Ba salary na wunya no enson anasa wo pa adwuma yo. you are looking for a job. Okay, don't worry. Company be a your friend Kai Wesco Limited or ye event bi ana adwumadie bi na adwumadie no or kyerɛ said ye be ya obetimi start a business on the internet with your phone and our computer. A simple kra. Venue a woye no eye Accra Digital Center. Kwame Nkrumah Circle Accra. Date no eye 25th January 2025. Echina eye 18th. Internet say echina na wotwe Saturday be echina week and away 25th January 2025. Time no eye 9:30 a.m. Na topics are Kai Uresco Limited for any mobile treating. 1. Said you bet me start a legitimate business on the internet. No one yesika monthly and answer part-time said the city. 2. A Kwame businessman, a bet me a fast war. Na jaton near Woodwa, Watono, or beton with internet so now one city and yeska. A SHS student. 1 hour show home, and answer we university student. 1 hour show home. Also, grab me for a part-time business online. A brown smartphone. A Juma atunton near my Nestor Nana or school so. Now, event and also a Bema Quine offer consultancy services for all companies. Our Munya digital marketing services. A fair to me, Abba, no register. We register on bet me about company. Now, one more free digital marketing training. Eddie amount, and no be free Eddie amount. Now, SAS seminar, will be a near my way na Ubenyana was so free course outline, free lunch, on be free lunch you. A free Wi-Fi, and no na fe one mama certificate of participation. A crate dia dance say was wababushian adini. Na see amount free course outline ya printed the amount ye ma lunch ya ka ho Wi-Fi be ye dwuma ho bra ye ma mo chechere certificate ni na a cool 200 Ghana cedis for registration. So training need a free name registration 200 pe it in pacho ye tun safre wo bia said your word dwuma no sika onyan at the end of the month and enso no ana say obu a wanye dwuma kura students businessmen companies are more pese munya more customers ewo business online no munyina amomra me pa cho se won ko school kura da enha ho bra ye be chiro ekwan so a wo beti de ye kan nyina se bia o se me de min ko school da bi wo de bra de ohia ne se fa smartphone ana wo laptop ebra na wo beti mi afre wo mo abuku seats number ni 0558 41 48 41 0558 41 48 41 0558 41 48 41 0558 41 48 41 last number for the last time 0558 41 48 41 okay 101.7 so in the na ako fabago fam na honorable Musa Superior abeka mensa minua me hu na chepa na ye bedi nkomo enti onua kan hye onua na onua so kan hye onua se de ebo mamane no honorable Musa Superior
okay
former mayor of Tamale abeka yensa
mate
ye bedi nkomo
Kwame na make ka stories no daily graphic at feto so dum yensa president nipa dum yenu a wayi wo mo se wo mo meye ministers anasa asoafo no na mebobo wo mu din na regional ministers bi yensa a wayi wo mo ebeba besom na Kwame asem ba ko nso e wo ha ya daily graphic ye center page no se wo hwa akrata feto so dum yenu ekosi du aduonu ba ko no omampani his excellency John Dramani Mahama what they are to just say as I say West African states no womu ehwe na de efa ne regional security etimi eye adwuma nkasa bamba ho nsem etimi eye adwuma nkasa na eho asem no eda ha sei wo bo amane se bibirima toye ha mpanifo no nyina no wo mo ye adwuma. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama e bo amane se bibirima toye ase ye pasumdue ye pebambo ho nsam de a ene wo mo ensore na Sahel no wo mo mfo mo nam ensisi ye se be ya bambo ho nsam ebetimi agina na kratafa to so dumie no ho no a ena wo mo kasa ye e wo University of Ghana eye 76 annual New Year school eye youth school no wo mo ekasa na mo kasa ye nyina de suafo no de adesrede to dwa say ye mpanifo no wo mo hia de friend discipline, integrity for personal and national development. Wo mo se Ghana mpumtuo ebeba emaburu no de to mpanifo nyina anim wo mo leadership positions akodo se wo mo enhwe se ahohyeso betimi aye adwuma na bambo ho nsem ne nukuredi enso be ye adwuma na etimi aboa ama oman no afa ne ntoma pa efra na Kwame se wo hwe ahase ya kratafa etoso eye banner headline na wo daily graphic no a Kwame Lawe story a wo dia ba no se economics I was answer professor of finance eye Godfred eye Bokpin wakasa Ade Akye say use agri to reset economy we eye Professor Bokpin na futuo na kwankyere a wo de ama na wo de ama ebra graphic business koso conference no ene odi to dwa say aban se wo ye reset into reset na wo ye na de ba ko betimi aye ne say agri sector no Professor Bokpin according to him na agri sector no aban betimi afa ho pa na watimi atoto ne ma yie na ma oman ne sikasam no etimi adane te sa bosoma kotre na etimi agina ye na so na ode osompa etimi abona na mamuo no nso etimi akoso nti wo se agri sector ne de esese aban ne hye na etimi ye pillar kese pa na otimi agina na so no mutimi eye sa adwuma no na etimi aboa ama oman no afa ne ntuma pa efra eye na eno achi no na Kwame ema woduo bebre ekuo bebre wo mo bo Professor Jena na Opoko Ajimai abaso se wo ba wodi kan a waye vice president e wo Ghana ha Kwame ebi NC da ena Kwame se wo hwe eye ministers aye bu omudi na ma wo mpa se wo hwe anim ha kra wo behu honorable Gomashi wono tourism and culture and creative arts ya pa wono se wo meye osoafo e ma wo m etutimi se His Excellency
also oye old student of St. Louis Secondary.
Oh, Kumase.
Yeah.
Oh, St. Louis.
Aye.
Oh, okay.
Na da bia meni di nkomo ha o se wo sai okosa adoa ne kiti. Ewo otumfo pokuare anim. Wo se sa abre na nyi so osakora anka ka o na na yire.
Oh, okay.
Na o matene Kumase penpa ni sisters kwara bi wo barekese no ne ade ade. Aye. Aye. Ela wonim se ono abo Kwame Agboja ya bo ni di no. Wonim ba bi o ma me free. O ma me free dwoso.
Wow.
In Ghana, no, we have a beautiful cultural.
I mean, diversity, no. So we have said, you see, your intermarriages. And it's a abua papa. As ya fra, ya kambum.
That was why Kwame Nkrumah, a pension, secondary school education, no, or ye ma, will be or ye gun, but what call be a secondary, will be a tamale.
Okay.
Be free tamale. Oba ha obi free ha oba ha
ena kwa me unim sese bia wo be ko school na ho na wo fa adamfo ho na wo fa adamfo ena wan hye wan so na wo be miti o spouse ho na wo betimi anya lava bi love
President Rollins ne nana Kurodu Ajima Rollins
kwa me wa
mame achimota
you see enumwa Kwame because ena Kwame ye do investing so ye bomu cho
but
yeah go lecture ho bebre
Kwame Nkrumah ye ne say bomu we ko St. Augustine obi so free Cape Coast bomu no so atwamwa to be a bogis bolga sa eti ena ya fefa eti ye ha no say wo hwe obi ti say Dr. Obeda Samwa wo so free jeso me ma me free jeso.
Wow.
And I never pass here Voltarian.
Nefe.
Evisefi Ankra. Honorable Evisefi Ankra. Aha. Ono so opapa free ahenema kokoben. Tinano so uzo call pambo. Ono so opapa free ahenema kokoben.
Wow.
Enti ye.
Kwame ewo mu se eye no krese se wo ba efom a still na sa me ma wonware ha na wo ho. Esebia me ma wonko abusua we me ewo mu die but ase esote
ati drastic
esote pa mama na me first stories me nse bi mra na afi
eti me ba mama ne se honorable Musa Superior former mayor of Tamale wabeka yensa wa ha na onye nipa ketewa ewo Osun Kokoa Manyoko mu. He contested for even general secretary of the New Patriotic Party. Na
of the
New Patriotic Party.
Okay.
Nti na ebedi nkomo pa me yonko pa no ba me no na me meja anyini ye say me nyini bio
wo
no
nyini ko
akofa ba mi say
me mama fa bi mra National Democratic Congress NDC Amanyoko no afa emus nkrofo susu se Boko Central Mrashe Bedwene no abo Mahama Ayarega ebia on na beye minority Mr. Majority leader ebia on na beye majority leader nti nkrofo tepo ne say one sha Honorable Mahama Ayarega wono na ebeye majority leader and participants ahodo wo ko conference 76 annual New Year school no wo mo dia tudwa say yema amanyofo kwan na local governance no wo mo fo mo ho enhim minority in parliament wo makasa chim say wo hwe the appointment committee of parliament set up no any a time I dem mo so mo fa musa questions enye fair wo mo agiri say ensemisa bi e wo ho nti minority caucus na kire wo magene say insufficient question time emma wo kwan emma members no wo ntimi examine wo yie pa eti no wo makasa e de afa ho say nsem bebre ho mo pese wo mu busa nanso so time na ye de ama mo so wo mu musa no esuadodo enti no wo hwe said ye wo say unfair treatment at vetting of ministers o makasa de afa ho say sese ye hwe ne ye ka ho asema ma Dr. Gideon Boakwa ye Mrashe Bedwene no Tano North ebra wo mo ye press conference no wa address team no na wa kire mu say sese mpanifo hwe na wo mo eye ho adwuma na Kwame code to be a ewo daily graphic page 18 was say it is clear that thought is not free if the profession of certain opinions make it impossible to earn a living. We be na emasa quote no a philosopher and na osanso educator. Kwame memfa the obokrata moboso no ensi ha na etoa enkomo no so.
Medase pa akoso ya go aboaje na mote nkande evergreen na ubetimi the questions aba bra ye on any honorable Musa Superior ebedi nkomo na what me abusa question ene eyi pa obi antie onuan kanche onuan na mu social media lines awodo no monfa ema me pa cho Regnant Properties and Investment Limited wom si don't come me assassin wo bon don't come no di free Christmas time no and wo bon don't come enie na ye 20,000 Ghana cedis assassin no plot of land nemom what is 40% into ebona about 12,000 cedis only na 12,000 cedis no a full plot wo de odi scanning na abra no onye nhihye ma wo na tuetu kakrakra assassin wo busa se wo hina e wo ginginazi e ho na assassin wo na saa de maka se 12,000 wo betimi tuetu kakrakra no for the first 50 plots and or the first come first serve. Edienti na ese woto asase free Regnant Properties and Investment Limited ho tie. Woto asase na dano a wotua osika na otimi si. Afei watetimu di pillars asisim layout ne kama.
Okay.
And a free site plan and an indenture after payment. And now free site visit to every Wednesday and Saturday 8 a.m. Na kaise enhye eda ho afeti Regnant Properties wo mo kaswa akweli after new market no wo mo number sie mienu tie 0549 544 510 0549 544 510 and 0540 46 12 76 0540 46 12 76 0540 46 12 76 0540 46 12 76 0540 46 12 76 and 0549 54 45 10 0549 54 45 10. Regnant properties. Your properties are priority. Okay, 101.7 CD. Yeah. Mira, Honorable Musa Superior. Bravo, Moji.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. And how are you too?
Yeah, you know.
And then they brought from the tree.
Oh yes. Say unim say me de me tree no enye papa. Na makachre Mustafa Hamid say on chre me tree.
Alaji.
But only time. I want to me catch you.
Hey.
Me cry me ngo. Eye me ngo.
Baby,
I don't understand where he gets it from. He's so talented in chi. But Mr. Sisia Abaka Krakra. So I'm sure saying that they meet me here like 55% chi.
Wow, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. Now, MPP Amanyuku. Sabi, ye come Musa Superior, Honorable Mr. Superior. Unya kwala wum. Eba bra wabre wum. Eba se obi enhwere ade wum wa hwere anema wum. Efa se ye ni tumi a wadi wum enom ne ade. Na mama mfemfiri sei. Ede ben 2024 elections. Minim se bia wa assessment kakra. Ede ben the cause of the defeat of the NDC in your view.
First of all, no, me that's a power for this opportunity. Now, 2024 election, no, if you look at it, a hard pan because that election, no, NDC defeat almost defeated a party, no. So we 1992 elections are
Dr. Dubois,
Professor Dubois, Professor Dubois, yeah, presidential candidate. And then Alaji Arai Alasan, vice. Then you had people like Darocha, Ajenim Boateng, and the rest are almost leading partner at that time.
General Secretary.
Then General Joseph Ajenim Boateng, one of the most principal people who in Ghanaian politics.
What you said, do baby, or turn it down the support.
Yes, I mean these are the kind of MPP are going forward, no, that we are looking for.
Okay.
Now, Mami analyze the reasons are defeat, no. So NDC defeat here big time. Now sa defeat no vote share voter form from 2020 votes no so, a little over 30% nationally.
Wow.
Now for me no it was terrible. There are a number of reasons why sa defeat no number one is say elected leadership of the party across border. MPP or organizational structure be the base organization for your partner, your polling station executive. It means that polling station be in this country. There were 5 executives, 5 officers of the party are almost representing MPP. It was our polling station. Normally, no. Some of the polling station executives, no, they think, say, they are just there to vote in elections. But Omojuma, more than that, they are elected to run the party, to manage our party
at that base,
at the party, at the polling station. So actually, say, any community are our polling station. For our 5 executives, no, the leaders of the party, it was our community, no. So in terms of organization, welfare, issues of strategy, linking up with the polling station coordinator to keep the party healthy, so that election, then the party is healthier to compete. Then one of the things is to vote in constituency elections, any parliamentary elections. But the key thing is to organize, manage the party. So level no. The kind of leadership was our level no leadership no. The same thing if you jump from the polling station back to the constituency level, some of the constituency the performance was bad. Then regional level, it was not okay. The West is the national level. And the reason why the base no any middle no any regional no in Yejuma Papa no is because there's a leadership failure at the top. Now, Mamima example. This is OKFM. OKSFM, Peace FM, Omo under a multimedia group. I friend, what's the name?
Despite Media.
Despite Media. Now, Despite Media, no, Omo management. There's a big management on top. More organogram.
Yeah, organogram.
There is a management, and I friend, whatever name you call it, either executive management or management on top. Omo no supervising the entire Despite Media. Now, Kwame Nkrumah Tikese say, "Otiha." Now, Jumano and Kuya, it means that there is lack of supervision. Now, lack of supervision, no. If there is no supervision, there cannot be appraisal.
But you need General Secretary, you were just in Kobe in Komo, said 3 or 4 days ago. What was it do, baby? Ube conflict, party chairman, MDC, DC, and one or more parliamentary candidate. Problem now.
It means that there is no discipline, and where there is no discipline, so General Secretary or Kasa, it means that or shooting who in the foot, because you are the General Secretary of the party. Your constitution, your power, Edima General Secretary, no, the presidential candidate doesn't even have that power.
Wow!
I'm telling you, if you look at under the General Secretary roles, the constitution has given to the General Secretary. No, in fact, only the most powerful officer of the party. The most powerful. Because who watch your constitution now? What is the role of the chairman? Chairman no or say unconvene the meetings of all the institutions of their party. The National Steering Committee, the National Executive Committee, the National Council, and the National Conference. Nobody can convene that meeting apart from the chairman. And then the other responsibility of the chairman in the constitution is on presiding over those meetings. That is what the constitution has said about the general chairman, the national chairman. But the general secretary say, you elect officer of the campaign representing the 4 institutions of the party: the National Steering Committee, the National Executive Committee, the National Council, and the National Conference. Apart from that, you head of the party headquarters. The head of the party headquarters, no amount for be bring him, and yet the national chairman. The leader at the party headquarters, the general secretary. And the constitution also have an opportunity liaison between the office of the general secretary and the party and all other institutions of the party across board, whether in the UK, in the US, in the Tamale Central, in Asawasi, in Keta, unaube liaison officer. So Juma Aoyenu is a big job. Now, so catch them and say, there are problems in the party. Emma, the parliamentary candidate, any chairman, any other people are it means that all lucky the stamina, any the discipline to manage them, and therefore that is failure. So I think the general secretary should not be speaking like that, because or speaking like that, he shoots himself in the foot. In the times of Ajenim Boatin, or a 2-term general secretary of the party, because he started on or a general secretary, and then he got re-elected again, probably I think in 1990.
He comes from Asante Mampong.
Okay. I mean, Ajenim Boatin now are very, very, very strong. Now the party leadership, they respected him. Now you're pointful as well. Now Kasaba or Bekano plainly. Damboche was like that. Sir John was very powerful. So you have to have some control to be able to discipline the party, to be able to bring the party together. So Sir Kasano, I don't accept it. But let me move on to discussion at Mr. T.
Okay.
So sir, at the party level, now there was some level of inefficiency and laziness, because we are party nipa. Elect to in 2022. Now 2022 I call yes our election. The mandate was for them to deliver in their polls. Now our mandate you have to have a strategy, any program to be able to deliver.
Sure.
Now between 2022 and at the time election, now it appears to me there was no strategy and there was no program. Now say, a leadership of a party now only strategy, only program. There's no work plan.
The man who said one strategy.
Now the whole country was struggling. It tells you that the whole country was struggling. Election now, almost every region, declining. Every single region, including our beloved Ashanti region. First, no bar form. Should I say, either you had no plan, and our plan, I will put it out, no, it didn't work. So on the basis of that, no, it is so prominent and revealing, say, a hard power. So the national executives, no, were one of the reasons party in Lucia. They didn't supervise the party well, no money plan. And therefore, they have no business to say omba be revive for any election. Because the party people
Obi I can say they are the top there. Down there, no, what's up? Regional party chairman one you Juma, regional constituency chairman one you Juma, and executive from one you Juma. You are part and parcel of the problem
because there's no plan.
Okay.
Now, say plan now. Say my example about despite multimedia group.
Sure.
The executive the lead supervisory body of Sab manage despite media group. So the munjina weki to plan. Munjina weki to say plan no nyejuma. He said the management had to step down or they have to find a way to revise plan. So that is exactly what is happening. So form no same catchers form no nyana and the reason is that there was lack of proper supervision and management and leadership from the top. So on the basis of that, no, when we say it has become a difficulty for the party in the 2024 election,
Now, running mates for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe, is on record to have said the tape is there all over. I say, Omaru Sanda, City FM, say, he was chosen, say, or the Ashanti votes in Beba. No, so Bio Bebusa Sadi and Biano, Sabi, a useless question.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah. Now, Baumianson or the Northern vote in Bayana.
Are you sure, say, Honorable Matthew Upoku Prempe said the Nkaya?
No, can we not say a defeat all over the country? And Bebusan said, was it about Baumianson and choosing because he is an Ashanti?
I think Sakasano Onjai Mbwa party.
Why?
Because Uyesano say Uno second in command in the last election. So say Bibi like this bar now Obe Kasa, you should reflect over whatever you are going to talk about because part of the reorganization, any rebuilding. Now they all can meaning because we all knew say one of the reasons choosing was to work very hard and mobilize the votes from our brothers in Ashanti. That was the key reason why he was chosen, and therefore, I don't agree with it. But let's move on with the management and the organization of the party.
Okay.
So me say the national executive the weakest link. Bois. Your base no find resources, thinking, any plan, any ideas, any activities, so that a better man mobilize and organize the party at the constituency level. No, now between 2022 and at the time election in 2024, no, we say the most dominant party in government in the history of this party was between 2022 and 2024. In fact, I can tell you, now me challenge you, Omo indicated, and I want them to publish, National Executive, Omo publish Omo activity plan in the last 2 years for us. Now, activity plan.
They were dormant.
They were dormant. They were nowhere. Omo publish Omo activity plan. They should indicate in the last 2 years what they did in the northern region, in all the 18 constituencies in the northern region. Omo indicated what they did in Upper East region, in all the constituencies in the Upper East region within the last 2 years. Omo indicated tangible program ben Omo in the Volta region. How many national officers Omo visited Volta region? How many national officers are almost VT Ashanti region? How many national officers are almost VCT Central region? And so visit no dear no almost ye. Almost VCT Central region, no communities be no almost call ye. Problems be no almost resolve ye between that time. That is why we're talking about a work plan. Now, running an organization without a work plan, now you would definitely fail. So, failure way there, a glaring failure, a hard dream. So, that is the number one reason. The national executive officers didn't do well. Now, because of lack of performance, a hard party no pa. Mami can be true. This party, very weak.
It's weak.
It's weak.
As in what?
Okay, I'll explain. You see, anytime you choose a presidential candidate, then the party gives into the presidential candidate. Anytime party will choose a presidential candidate, then the presidential candidate no overwear or manipulate the party. This time, it's the same thing. Anytime we are in government, the president finds a way to manipulate the party. Anytime you are government, and the worst of it was even under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, are manipulating your party, and every single day.
Now,
okay. The actions, any actions, undermining the party. So until the party reorganizes and says, no, this party, one single party, managed by the National Council with delegated responsibility to National Executive Committee and Steering Committee. Now, any other individual or institution is under the party. So that Yetimi hold the firm principles and make sure, say, party is not moved away from the center to people's homes and people's houses and people's offices are. This is the way the party is going to be. So, I say, reasset who we are as a party. Look at the mobilization in 1992. Jerry Rawlings governed this country for 11 years. And then he formed a party on the 28th of July 1992. That time, the presidential election on the 3rd of November. It means that the party was in existence for just 5 months. Now, with this 5 months, with the kind of leadership I want to distinguish BJ Darocha, indomitable, courageous, fearless Professor Dubois, Alhaji Malik Yakubu, and people like Ajenim Boating,
the J.H.
Mensah, and Teresa Tego, Gladys Asma. I mean, these were the people who are almost leading the super mobilization. In fact, the most important and biggest MPP mobilization in our history was in 1992.
The Christian Churchill.
The Christian Churchills. They didn't know, Araya Lassan, Alhaji Salifu COP, Alhaji Sakabawa, Wema, and the rest of Odoi Sykes, Jacob Echebi Lamte Yangje. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Yeah. The young, he was pushing for democratization of your country. So that time, mobilization, because at that time there was so much fear. Now,
before then, no movement for change,
exactly. Now Rawlings was putting the fear. In fact, hijacking our election. So our election was fraught with impersonation, rigging, all manner of things. At the end of the day, ballot box,
opaque. And I say classroom.
Exactly. Now, classroom, structural organizations are committee for the defense of the revolution, and then the CDOs and co. Now we are very active and very frightful. So, more intimidating vote. But at the end of the day, the percentage MPP got was a super percentage. 30% of the Ghanaian people said, no, we want democracy. And then later, investigation, which said, election was actually stolen. In fact, that is why the MPP wrote the stolen verdict. This is the kind of injection injecting in our party going forward. Now, before we do that, no, it is my humble suggestion, say, so our current national executive, say, almost stand down so that we can have an interim management committee. Oh, I'm telling you, that is what I'm suggesting. Because almost scorecard is the most terrible scorecard since 1996. So with this scorecard, how do you then say, who per se own supervising a reorganization? Very, very terrible scorecard. In fact, our defeat is the most embarrassing defeat for a party. Now affect a lot of people in their party. So my view is that they should all stand down en bloc. They should stand down. Obianko. National. Because almost scorecard no terrible. Scorecard no engagement. The National Council should quickly meet and then put together an interim management team to oversee our rebuilding process. No, you cannot use such a cack-handed organization to do the rebuilding. With what ideas again? Election, and we have lost this election so catastrophically. Now, say supervising, and then we have had an apology coming from the party. Yeah, Mati said a couple of days ago there was an apology issued. From the General Secretary. Yeah. It is very, very bad. You don't issue apology. But you stand down where there is principle. You don't issue an apology. Because our apology, apologies to me working in certain aspect of life. Mm-hmm. But in some other aspect of life, now one of those aspects of life, our apology is the situation we have found ourselves. Because we need to rebuild the party and reclaim government in 2028 and do what we do best for our country. Because I am confident that, look, whatever the NDC we do at the end of the 4 years, you will realize that they can't match us in terms of governance. But because of decisions are yet taken here, and I'm sure we will come to that, decisions are yet taken here as a government, coupled with the inefficient performance of the current national executives here, a higher partner power, and then Ghanaians said, look, enough is enough. We can no longer go with this. Now, to abano against you people, so that you will go back and then plan and come back again, because they are more embwa. Now, your party officers are almost around the country, communications officers, research officers are almost party. Find out. Say, we are one of the leading journalists in this country. Mm-hmm. After this conversation, we'll conduct some research around the country and find out whether they were given the resources to work, whether not or more equipments to work. No. So it's emphatically no. Exactly. This party had no plan. Because I was saying, I have no resources. It is everywhere. Now you don't rush in with resources at time election. The BMK presidential candidates don't win elections. The BMK no, presidential candidates don't win elections. The most intelligent, the most powerful, the most resourceful presidential candidate on to me winning election on the back of a weak party. Wow. It is the party they come organize the party and make the party strong and make it acceptable and make it appropriate and motivate the people. So party can meet together, then the presidential candidate can lead. If you choose the most intelligent presidential candidate and he's leading a weak party, he ain't me winning election. And that has been the case with the MPP in the 2024 election. We say party across board now problems, war party leadership problems, resources problems, lack of training, technical officers of their party they were left to one for Honorable Mami Musa, the candidature of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, one of the reasons in this free north and now Mahama free north beginning now His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Abekan say you guys will use him and dump him a basse mudini be jina as presidential candidate among fanima you go and pick somebody elsewhere until you omdina be jina the crop of it is said you benya vote ni bebre mu benya vote ni bebre from the five northern regions
afei de zongo so no so ɛbɛto the first time a kramoni so ɛba abɛgyina saa deɛ no nyinaa nyɛ dwuma why
you know mami make a correction of this assumption here because assumption boy who say Ghana everywhere in the Ghana in all the 16 regions across border no numbers no baffle
sure
everywhere
in
fact it is only in the northeast region where Dr. Baumia comes from say the numbers went up so if you check the records it will tell you
okay
now nka de okay no nka be no kre if the numbers were up in the other regions and then they were down in the north and the Zongo communities if the numbers were up in Ashanti, in Brono Ahafo, in Easting, in Volta, in Oti, and then in the northern part of the country the numbers were down, then you can make a logic argument, in fact a rational argument, say your own people the whole country didn't vote for the MPP. And they didn't vote for the MPP for two reasons. One of the reasons here discussing the lack of, smart performance by party leadership. And so they affected party. They had no motivation, no money, resources. The party was struggling across world between 20. How can you be a political party? I suppose any bridge. A political party must be a bridge between the party people and the government machinery, so that your party for no, they compete my climate bridge, and access support from government. But this bridge broke down. It was totally broken down. So there was a yawning gap between the government machinery and your party people, and therefore a lot of your party grassroots people suffered unduly. How do you have constituency? There was 17 officers in every constituency. So mathematically, do this mathematics for me. So you multiply 17 by 275, you will get a particular number. And this number, what is the number? 4,675. Now, are you telling me, and this 4,675, now, some of them actually work, some of them are in business. So let's say 50% of the 4,675 or more juma. The rest of the 50%. How is it that they didn't have jobs? On the basis of what? Who can argue, say, why the rest of our constituency executives are more qualifications to work and those are more need qualifications? No. Why is it their partner?
Maybe the jobs were not there.
There are jobs. You cannot say that. Look, in Africa here and in some parts of the world, even in the US, you saw the way Trump or any appointment. A patronage politics.
Sure.
Buami namin buao. And we have just seen the kind of appointment.
And that is why
we have just
President Mahama is doing.
We have just seen the kind of appointment President Mahama is doing. So if you say almost need the right qualification to fit in certain jobs, then you can make a case for that. But say almost qualified, and I tell you, majority of our constituency officers are almost nijuma. Some of them are degree holders, some of them are masters. And I'm saying that say almost let's assume say crowd almost nijuma. What is the plan? Say party plan then work so that plan can be used to ensure say almost who are benefiting economically because their business are on betmaye. And therefore that is why the party should have a business development unit. Now, our business development unit, to work in tandem with a research office, so that you research, and see the kinds of things I bet as a political party to make sure that your party for they are economically viable. Because on an advantage, say party for economically viable, but they be or more personally invest into the party without even waiting for resources from Accra. Because we are organizer now Juma and you got the job through the party. Say part no be bibia maybe funeral outdoor na sika from headquarters we bet man make a contribution so that our social event part can be represented. These are the kind of things I echo. So bridge the only way to mend the bridge is for those who have destroyed the bridge to go so that we can get new set of workforce on Betman Mendy bridge.
Now, honorable questions me baako say national officers ɛmfa wɔn deɛ no nto hɔ a because of an abdication of responsibility a what about wɔn nso wɔn tena region ɛso yɛ nhwɛ ha wɔn anya adwuma wɔn tena constituency obi ankɔ anaasɛ wɔn deɛ wɔn nka hɔ.
That no, if say you proper leadership, supervision no by change. There will be proper appraisal in the system, and there will be a work plan. Because now Uti region who are now constituents are now polling station who now the leadership of the party on top no there is no work plan for you. It doesn't motivate you to work. But I mean, I'm saying say across board no most of your party officers no. And therefore, say, but elections are most of them one year. In fact, it was not about the entire fact that say party at the national level one year. Most of your party office now they've talked now. So say are very brave, competent, intelligent, smart people from across the organizational structure of their party, polling station, electoral area, constituency, regional, and national.
Now, obi say me hu obi atra ba say enye ba omia na ebibie even Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh can say issues so e ma mudi kuguo no such defeat no one is on the economy wasn't performing well come de nkrofo no na de two is about governance and they been say hey now say Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh o ka sa de a na say it's a referendum on Nanado's
now say a discussion about ho because two legs. I'm giving two reasons why.
Okay.
Yeah, Lucy. So the first reason I discussing about the party, and I'm saying say no, the party leadership no, they perform so poorly, and they be judge omu performance. Na benchmarking the performance of other leadership no. In fact, the blame leadership criticizes so heavily no. Omu 138 seats. And then we need presidential by 53%. In fact, over 53%. Yes, the blame leadership of the MPP, no, and that time the John Boyd is general secretary. But say criticize you more because say at the time buy no now your seats no was over 160. I think probably 163. Is that correct? Yeah, 163.
Yeah.
169.
169.
And then buy no ye lose 6 no and then decrease a number no from 169 to 137. And then presidential election no we just won by 3 percentage points. I think your mama had 48 or 47, 4 percentage points, I think. But we went around the country and say, no, this is not the kind of leadership we are looking for. The kind of leadership we are looking for should rather increase your numbers in parliament and make sure that we have a massive record in the presidential elections. And then you call a campaign, and at the end of the day, John Boydu and the rest of them are more Lucy or more positions. As a result of that, no, the current executive no buy. And then, lo and behold, 2024, 137 seats to 89 seats. Is that correct?
Yes.
88 seats.
The fall is so steep.
I mean, the white man will say it is an obliteration, complete annihilation. Finish here, we are not existing. In fact, in parliament, it will be a formality for our members to just go there and sit down because there's a constitutional implications. If you don't go to a parliament for a number of days, you will have problems. So, and NDC, recruiting the 4 independent candidates to caucus with them. So, numbers are NDC one. They can do anything they want in this country. Now, the MPP should never ever be in this situation before, like that, because set pieces of Ghana's democratic journey. So, a problem, and that is why, for example, there shouldn't be any conversation at any level to want to encourage this current executive to stay in power for the next 2028 election. It will be
but some 10 announced best 2026.
No, you see, my take it drastic. Look, desperate situations require drastic measures. That is why I made me a direct appeal to the National Council to request for them, say, almost stand it down. Now I'm forming the interim management committee to do the rebuilding. Who say almost setting up a committee?
A committee. I want to say, why don't we wait? Now committee in favor a report number that fact finding
committee no cover up.
Oh sir,
it's a massive cover up.
Why?
Probably led by Dana Ado Dankwa Akufo-Addo. This committee is a massive cover up.
That's number one. What did he you
who there? Sir, or your Ghanaian citizen, a member of this party.
Oh, sure.
Now he should be interested in the way this party will come back after this catastrophe. Sir, committee, no, almost find how. Yeah, the MI Lucy and yes, I know. Now, Obia name why we lost. There's nobody in there. In fact, the general secretary of their party is on record to have said that one of the reasons I hear Lucy because we're not fair to our party people. Now, or see, we are not fair to our party people. Who was not fair to the party people?
Okay,
the party and the government. Or say we didn't treat our party people well. So, or to me, communicated two reasons why we have lost. But there are other reasons, and I have just been communicating a number of them here. The chairman of the committee, in his own constituency, he should be telling us why we lost in his own constituency. Domi Kwabinya constituency. You see here. And it's a miserable loss. Because a key constituency for the MPP. That's number one. Number two, I mean, 80 years. I'm sure 81 years. Now, a certain committee, there was 16 regions, 275 constituencies, and there are younger people in this party, people like Joe Gatti, John Bwedu, and the rest of the very, very young people in this party are almost the institution of their party. Now, a certain committee to really investigate why we have lost the election, and we think that an older person probably fraught with unhealthy situations are only the
but the national organizer no menina di nkomo ha na na bi abeka say the fact say wanyini no enkyere say sabi na dwene enweke say you were fine old gentleman.
It's not an accurate statement.
Oh,
na so no benanti the whole country no onko.
Maybe baby how obeko bi onko betina
no, we need a young person who can go everywhere. Now, who are chairman of a committee or call Garu Tumpani to sit and you are in Accra. Now, there are Omuko Sefi also, you are in Accra. And then, amazingly, more issue email addresses for how many party people in this country are on more email? How many party people are more email? Let's be serious about this. This is a massive cover-up because they don't want people to talk about it or more hardly put a committee together. And I tell you, watch. The outcome of the committee report, no, ube frame I catch them and say, Musa, the kind of massive cover up. We lost because we had a very poor, lazy party executives, and then we will talk about the other one, the governance issues. No. So, now in this party, I say, and when you speak the truth, and then they will send their boys to come after you. Now, me, I'm not sure I'm the type of person I will get demotivated to participate in the party's activities because people are talking of bad of me. The culture of silence. Now, we are the liberal Democrats. A BB bar opportunity should be given for party people to make a contribution publicly and do an open surgery. Now, people want to cow people into silence. It is not the reason why people like Darocha and Co. I mean, Odoi Sykes, people like Peter Alajete, Mariama Sampaga. This is not the reason why they almost put you neck to the knife and got this party formed.
I'm a Buzia.
I'm a Buzia and Co. I mean, count them all over the country.
Davia Mamu.
The unsung heroes of their party. Now, so it's our party there. Now, anybody are all person on making this party say silent over issues won't succeed because the principles and the values of this party is underpinned by our democratic principles, by our liberalism, by our openness and transparency. So, even if the committee is a real committee, says somebody should be ringing a member of the committee and say, can you listen to okay right now? Musa Superior is there doing an analysis of why we lost. So that when you you cannot have a party say people don't want to be criticized. And then you claim, say, we are a democratic party. You are not democratic if you tolerate criticisms. Now, all the criticisms I have heard, no. Now, are positive. Now, all the criticisms I have positive.
You run another than Kwakufuadu. The performance as president of the republic affected the party's chances, Anna.
Yeah, it does. It does. Because, say, by government, no. Now, you're running the government. Then at one particular stage, things were tough. Like you said, no, now economy and the finances of the country became a problem. Now we borrow more. So borrow, and then it came to over 700 and something, $1 billion. Okay, and we are told there was even a conflict of interest. The organization that was leading this borrowing thing and standing as a consultancy, it was Kenoforiates Bank. And I think that was absolutely not acceptable. So because he was there, no, yeah, borrow more.
Oh, but can I say, day-to-day running of this company, no, when you're involved.
No, Master, we all know that. I mean, these are all cover-up talks. What it is your company, whether you were not involved or not, it is your company. Then over 90 MPs, members of parliament, almost say they wanted to have a conversation with the president. And there are almost problems in the economy and kuye. No constituents, no koye juma, no constituency people to abama. The president didn't want to meet them. According to one of them, all make a public statement and meet here. Then they decided there's a press conference. So I think it was after the press conference that they were invited. Now, how can a president sit down happily to say 90 MPs were wrong? Now he and Ken Oforiatta is right. And for me, no, it doesn't show he was flexible on that occasion. So or Kachira mo say na the finance minister or leading the IMF program. Now it is in the middle way at a particular time through the program, no, that the president feels that they are required to change the finance minister or be changing. That didn't happen. Then these people gave up. Then later, some mini reshuffle, and then he reshuffled him, and even gave him a job in the presidency. And I think that was an insult to the Ghanaian people and the MPP people, because this is the same person who be say, "Wama economy no ankoye," and then you do this. So he was then advising the president in terms of the capital market, and he became a special advisor to the president on finance, and that was not accepted. So he didn't listen to them. That's number one. Number two, the whole Ghana, including a lot of MPP people, say, "Hey, reshuffle this government. Here, fresh ideas. We need fresh faces. Reshuffle." Now the mandate, some mandate as president, it was given to you by the Ghanaian people, and therefore, it's sometimes very, very important to listen to the people and do what the people want, even if they are wrong, so that you will show respect no what the mamo. Then you can begin to correct the wrong. But on this occasion, they were right. Say things were not going. Reshuffle. And the man will say the kind of statement or make here. For me, he shouldn't have made those statements as a president.
They suffered for going on that tangent. They suffered for going on that tangent. Those 90 MPs, no.
Yes, but it doesn't. We shouldn't be running a democracy like that. Now, on the watch of Akufo-Addo, these things will happen. No, serious indictment on his leadership. So as for that one, I'll leave that. I mean, he should handle that problem, because we say we're a democratic person and people air their views. It is important you respect their views and then you allow the process to go. So that's number one. Number two, how is it that the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, Obaha, in one of your studios, Peace FM,
Peace FM,
Bisano about e-levy. And this man was categorical, the number 2 person in this country, Or say, no, e-levy there, it's not something this government is thinking. And then he even gave a reason why this government will aim for e-levy. Or say, e-levy no, ebe ha poor people. Then, a couple of weeks' time, there was an e-levy. Actually, say, this was an unstable government. And it was actually a disgrace on the vice president. And the reasons why I'm pushing for e-levy, because the vice president had advised cabinet that the e-levy, and this one I'm telling you, I'm from a very reliable source, he had told cabinet that this e-levy is not good for this country. A number of people, in fact, I think that Nana B had made a public statement about it, the national organizer of their party, said the e-levy is not good. But they brought the e-levy. So, our policy, you can't say, yeah, and then later we brought it, the judgment of the government was poor, and this was bad. You about the respect for traditional authorities. Our President of the Republic of Ghana, you are traveling around the country for social events, and then you instruct chiefs say, almost sorry, na chiao. Na,
any effect on the electoral outcome?
Of course, because me, I'm a traditional Dagomba person. If you come to my community as a president and ask my chief to wake up, if I am not a true proper MPP person, I will vote against you because you have disrespected my chief. It doesn't work like that. No, he was doing all these things. His body language at public events. Look at, I think there was a national program, Omobon National Anthem. A particular chief was seated. And Anado could have calmly told the regional minister quietly, can you go and talk to the chief not to do that? But who said?
By force, sorry.
National anthem there, you have to respect it.
But why are you?
It doesn't
matter. Can he do that to
Otunfo? And yes, if Otunfo wants to respect it and stand up, it must stand up. But to say the way are all But in another event, the daughter was handling a phone all over the place. Did he tell her to stop?
It is a
that is the problem. So all these things affect the
because when the entire make us me free baby am free no per our tradition no say otum for bar that privilege to sit. You that privilege to sit whilst others are standing up. Enti so ohine no a cultural some history bisa. Me question is say ebi anana no kura ote wono ne na ye ne ya. Enti wonim se about national anthem.
Say later the officer issue statement actually said now on Tiapo.
And
they made that statement. But the Americans say exactly. That is my problem. Even if you the president believe Chinchina say national anthem, a chief should stand up. So the way to communicate it to the regional minister should have been much more sober, so that it doesn't show say you were angry, because this was a chief. It was not Musa Superior, Kwame Tikese, any other person. This was a big chief in I think in the Greater Accra region. Now the way of showing anger, it didn't show correct temperament, and I think that it affected the party around the country. And the chiefs were having a conversation. So chiefs knew working against us in almost everywhere. Some of the chiefs are almost they were not happy with those things. Conversations like, oh, you didn't vote for me, and therefore that is why me free. So
voter and the conflict chiefs in the
So these were some of the reasons are, and I'm happy say this conversation back out for us to talk, so that your corrections you better make it. So these are and then how can you say haircut? People have put their money, old people have put their money, They have entrusted their money for security, for savings, and then the government will come and say, look, Sikano, some of the money will no longer belong to you. We are running a restructuring process because of IMF. On the basis of that, no, we part of your money for a haircut. These were voters. Now, more extended families. So they were very upset. We saw the former Chief Justice all leading demonstrations against the government. Now, if you see, people took it lightly. A whole former Chief Justice leading a demonstration. What is he telling the middle class? The middle class party for say, voters. No, you have the middle class grow older, and these were educated people. This country work for this country, and then their monies were going. So these were the issues, and some issues. No, it's very important. Say, having conversations about it.
Wow. Now, mami, question be beba na mo mami test message kakra aba na fi yeni komo abusuafo yeni honorable Musa Superior. Waye MPB ba amapa wa contest general secretary position of the party ni pen na waye former mayor of Tamale ene na twen komo message amode aba obetim di afam aguso e de aba number no eye 0208 772772 0208 772 okay 101.7 Ernest from Taifa was see well besides national position no we are interested in any of the national positions and the position be na wope true sir abysmal performance of the government you know what also you do call say koye mayor no wa anya de enti na bia na na adoje wakonya na eno eye ba ko was see okay mame nhwe message no ahodo aba aha was inti per the honorable Musa Superior Eka no e kire say from police station to national obi anko ana say including ono ankasa we say no in charge of forestry in the forestry one e dey now here to win 2024 elections obeso contest any position you should do so and stop blaming national executive members because so woka ho e dey now so here JB from Sawam ne dey a dey ba no I'll see Midin de Aigbe Adade from a shaman was a problem no Sikaya no de my delegates no it would the my delegates no amokoto candidate na obi a wenye bia ono so nkoto nti ono so na idea ono so e de eba ye no mama samra question another question obi see so you claim says we are spoken about niema wodo na ekoso wa ban ma ni nyinanye na mimusa positions no what contest be se base ya
ono say anybody or can about position as MCC I will jump gun can about positioning open public surgery for problems are ACN na and see how partner be pan out. Now, say about position, I will come about position, I will be jumping gun. Now, me the responsibility as a party person to make sure say they are happy, you know, say I am talking about it so that they find a way to address those problems. So currently, we shouldn't be talking about we person post election 2 years from now. Now, why would anybody be thinking of contesting a position now? It is not the best thing. There's a problem in the party now. Let's come together and rebuild the party. That is the most important thing for me. Not in
the interim. Obi bisa say in the interim and long term, no, steps Ben as a party to rebuild trust with the Ghanaian populace.
The most important thing is that we should stop conducting ourselves in a manner demonstrate say we are arrogant people. I say and stop it. And that is why to accept some of the things are what the country and like the kind of conversations are and then the other one any genuine reforms in the party. Now me see reforms no omuma obi anto abano Omuma MPP, who
Every
ID,
card.
who membership card. Now we are good standing. Good standing nature say utua odiusa. Unto abano. Now who call ye 5 people polling station. For example, my constituency delegates no, they are not even up to 1,000 people. So in the last elections, primary side, there were a lot of things that they were totally illegal but the party looked on. But if you say now it will be very, very difficult to bribe MPP membership, because most of them they won't be available to be bribed. Now, what time no because dear no say call round say call community you are inviting all the MPP people and talk to them. If you have, for example, polling station or 30 or 40 people registering as MPP members, now we are good standing now. And now we have it across the country. Every polling station, the minimum of people are register and have a membership card. Now sa number no constituency biano untimi come on television any fridges as a nipa 30 per polling station no, and you have probably over 2,000 polling stations.
You can't do that,
my brother. So I say open up. Na sa open up no has to be drastic so that ebe prevent these kind of things. The other thing I mean proposing is national council. I say national council. I say I think it should be abolished.
Why?
Yeah, because it has become an institution now which is being manipulated by normally the presidential candidate and the president. So and then we leave them because we say membership are our national executive committee, no, almost the same membership are our national council. But with national council, no, additions be say regional representation and some other things. We have 20 members of parliament. 20 members of parliament are almost representing MPs on the national council. Some of these members of parliament, at the time I hear government, a few of them will be ministers of state. Now, a minister of state going to national council, you think he has the audacity to challenge the president? We have former general secretaries, former national chairmen, and all these things. But you limit at the end now the bureaucracy in the part and what steering committee, national executive committee, national council, national conference. No. We should have steering committee and national executive committee, and most of the decisions, take place in the steering committee. Probably 90% of your decisions, the steering committee should take the decision because they were fair representation. Amount for name the membership of the steering committee. In fact, it is one of the most powerful organs of the party.
Steering committee,
The steering committee, who say membership, national chairman, all elected officers of the party, all elected. Chairman, first vice, second vice, organizer, general secretary, youth organizer, Nasara coordinator, women's organizer. And then we were chairman of the council of elders. Then we were the leader of our group in parliament. Then we have the president and the presidential candidate. We are members of the steering committee. So they have fairly represented the country. So say NDC functional executive committee
fake
very, very powerful,
very strong.
So most of the decisions that we hear are communicated to the country by the NDC. Decisions are taken by the functional executive committee. So per se reforms then let's make sure decisions are taken. Most of those decisions should be taken. After all, the steering committee any in charge of the day-to-day management of the party. The other thing is, Parliament almost standing committee is clear about how you choose your leadership in Parliament. It should be chosen by members of the Parliament. You ain't changing a constitution, and not allow the National Council to choose leaders for us in Parliament. They should allow the people in Parliament, a group to choose leadership. Because who watch ya? So 20 people are national executive chooses 20 people.
Okay.
It is a parliamentary group, not the party. So it should be the other way around. Now elections are now going forward. My view is that we shouldn't have a campaign team again.
Campaign team?
No, it is totally unnecessary.
Why?
Because campaign team bar.
I'm about drop strategies.
Campaign team bar. Undermining the hierarchy of the party. So say election time draw maybe 1 year to the election. Yet to me, Tenny, the national executive, the steering committee, into a campaign team so that ombe dual responsibility. Ombe national executive committee and a campaign team. And then 3-4 people. How is it that the whole party, currently, we have a director in charge of campaign strategy. In the national campaign, there was no director for campaign strategy. You do your investigation. The director of the campaign strategy for this party, there's a director. So, as a turn the steering committee into a campaign and then find 3-4 people and add the national treasurer of the steering committee, in my view, should be the director of finance. The national chairman, in my view. Now, normally you campaign as your campaign chairman, then you campaign manager, then you chairman of the campaign coordinating committee. This is bureaucracy way in MY. Your campaign management body to be headed by the campaign manager. Period. Your campaign chairman, and then the reporting system, very cumbersome.
There were lapses in oversight.
Exactly. Now, some people were, people claim, say they were. If you go and form a lot of people into one group and make them campaign team, it is very, very likely that some people will not be used. Now, because they are not used, they won't be happy. Now,
because now you Chairman Fred Owari.
Okay.
No,
you're vice chairman to Dambuchi. No, menu. Chairman Fred Owari and Nana Akumia. No, you're 2 vice chairmen to Dambuchi. And then you come down under Dambuchi, you will operate as campaign manager. That is why I'm saying, it's needless. You don't need a lot of people to form a campaign team. Say you turn a national steering committee into a campaign team. Then the director of operations will definitely be the national organizer. The deputy director of operations will be the youth organizer. The finance director, the treasurer of the party. Why is it that the whole treasurer of a party seti campaign team and somebody is ahead of him in terms of finance? Yes, we can find 3-4 people and co-opt them so that on be part of the national steering committee to form the campaign team. And we should have one leader of the campaign team and yet not several leaders. Now one national campaign chairman, and then you have a national campaign manager, and then you have a national chairman of the national coordinating committee. Then it means that there are 3 leaders in a campaign. Now, it makes management become very, very difficult. So my proposal to the party, which I'll be doing very soon formally, is in the future, turn a steering committee into the campaign. The chairman of the Council of Elders is there. He can be a chief advisor to the campaign. In our case, it is currently Hackman Oswajiman, and everybody knows this is a very experienced man in politics.
Sure.
Now, if you make him the chief advisor to the campaign, the national chairman, I heard the general secretary make a very valid point. Say the national chairman should be the chairman of the campaign. In fact, he should not the chairman. He should be the manager of our campaign, so that the general secretary another position in the campaign, so that steering committee then the whole thing will go out there and use the constituency officers in any polling station officers. Because if you go out there, because the last campaign there was something they call sharpshooting, any Go TV. Most of these sharpshooters and Go TV people now they were not officers of the party at the ground. These were different groups all more campaign. Now, let's use the party structures. At the constituency level, the constituency executive, a year to the election, should be inaugurated as the constituency campaign team. There be 3-4 people in addition. At the regional level, the regional executive should be inaugurated as the regional campaign team, with the addition of 3 or 4 people almost certain expertise they lack at that level. Then I think that will help the party. There will be cohesion in the party, so the party will be mobilized.
Run up to elections, na niema nyina wo tim uma party for asote.
Oh, say party way there. Look, for example, in 2022, we make a public statement. Now, verifiable. So, see, I will call internet so I'll be home. Now, me say, youth in afforestation, NAPCO, school feeding, national service, teacher trainee, nurses trainee. I made this statement probably around July 2022. I think so, July 2023 or so. And I said, government in Tuomo. Because a government in Tuomo, I said it. Then later, probably around August, me make another statement. And this time, I was directing our statement to the yet to be elected presidential candidate of the party. And these are public statements. Say, if the presidential candidate is elected, you should insist that these payments are made. I made that statement. And I said, party should find a way and empower the party people. So those of you, Bisa say, dear Nami, when I was Deputy Chief Executive of the Forestry Commission, these are the some of things I've said publicly, which political appointee, government appointee has publicly issued such a statement. How is it that you have election, 3 months to elections, on the in October, then the Public Utility Regulatory Commission are increasing tariffs, water bill, any light bill, 3 months to election.
2 days to election.
No, me make a public statement, and I said, this is verifiable. And I was a member of the government then. I wasn't talking as a non-officer of government. Let me be a member of government. Almost say reshuffle. The cousin of the president. A lot of people say now you're very, very powerful in the government. Gabi was a Rochriga. Or make a statement be ridiculing Ghanaians. And I'm sure you read the statement say, it's as if you're reshuffle Ukraine won't be stopping. As if you're reshuffle now dollar.
Maybe he said it in jest.
No, but I'm saying he said this was not a statement that was supposed to be made by somebody close to the president. It was an unfair statement on now who taking the Ghanaians for granted. Let me make a public statement against him. In fact, a lot of people call me and say, now if you are not careful, you will lose your job. I told them that, look, if I lose my job to correct all these problems so that yet me we need 2024, I'm happy. Because sometimes it's not about the job, it's about the security of the individual. Now, the security of the MPP member, the security of the Ghanaian, it's in the hands of the MPP. So, losing government, so these are the things, 2 days to elections, a day to election, who increase fuel prices. What kind of awkwardness is this? Now, who call elections? I count 1 day to election, and then you tell the whole country that you have increased fuel prices. It doesn't work. So these things.
Deregulation in the
it doesn't work. Politics doesn't respect these kinds of policies. Politics, then we come back quickly and fix all these policy issues. 1 month to election, you do a lot more politics. Even if a policy, you think say a policy no be and the people are calling for the removal of the policy. Why is it that election?
The issue of senior high. Yeah. Now you see in Kwalabe 5 million and over. And now one much me enrollee. San Kwala no kwanya 18 one parents say two. Senaka, that could be enough for you to win.
Yeah, for senior high there, we have to commend Akufo-Addo for it, or on lapses.
I didn't know man too.
That's the problem. Because the party was weak. Those are all more about mobilizing the people and send the message to your communicators and everybody. The party was so weak. Now my culture will say, you can have the most handsome, brilliant, intelligent, smart presidential candidate. Say, party you're weaker, you will not do well in the elections. Because the party is the vehicle mobilizing the people and carry them to the polling stations to vote. So a party that is motivated, the membership is motivated to do the work and motivated to come out and vote. These are the things here in the party. So it is very, very, very important that we look at all these things. All these low voter turnout. I'm out for Bibre catch them and say, oh, we lost because your number is not out. That's our argument. No, for me, it's not a correct argument. There are two reasons why people decide not to give their mandate to the people. One is either the government are all running, and it is not run to the satisfaction of the people, or like the party has become weak and it has demotivated our people. So, and there are two ways to reject the party. Number one is to vote or to abstain. Number two is to abstain. So, abstention now, I'm for say, yes, there are people, but then I'm one voting. They didn't vote because I'm losing confidence in the party. So this argument that 2 million of MPP people didn't come out to vote shouldn't even be said publicly.
How?
No, because why didn't they come out to vote?
Okay.
They didn't come
then
out.
They say it normally voter apathy at all.
No, voter apathy. They are cause voter apathy. Because General Secretary said they didn't treat the people fairly. Yes, look, now me here assembly on I think or not Peace FM. A gentleman who said he was a financier of the party. God is I mean, this
George
story.
Otibunsi.
Kwame Tikese, this story. How can this story encourage that gentleman and his whole extended family to vote for the MPP?
And then Osatibwa party no, were Jenny Boatin Persu.
Now I'm so sad that the gentleman didn't mention the name of the person. But on my clues, so I
know the person.
On my clues, I know him.
I know him.
Because if he said Abu had never worked at the National Security, Asensu had never worked at the National Security, Fawaz has never worked at the National Security. The only person who worked at the National Security is Von Brazil. So he should have mentioned his name. What is he afraid of? Now, these are the characters that made us lose the election. As a deputy chief of staff, you conduct yourself in this manner.
Now, they don't even talk any can we?
I mean, it is amazingly. Sometimes where's be waha? Yeah, you see why a party no, but and yet say a deputy chief of staff would do this to a financier of a party. These are all the issues. Emma part no bar form no. And the only way yet me rebuilded this party is to put in place a stronger team. A team will be anti manipulating. Whether you are presidential candidate, you are president, nobody should be able to manipulate our party. Because the first appointment is when we appointed you to become presidential candidate. Mm-hmm. The second appointment, say we near. So our second appointment is through MPP that the Ghanaian people are tomorrow. So I say I only respected this party at all times. How is it that in Bibia now I see yanko number 16 yanko this office now yeah party office
number 16 former electoral commission officer.
Yes, former we've been running some campaign things there, and if you are looking for money, go to number 16.
You time anamoye national officers no a time no a large shot no time one.
Yes.
Na baby run free.
So I say the party no we should be assertive. Now say party no nya assertive. Now, and we allow individuals in the party to control this party. And the party no who that particular individual no. And I'm sending me caution people who wants to be presidential candidates of our party. It's not going to be business as usual. The next executive of the party, we will put pressure on them.
My main idea was selection of a candidate for the party. No, what thoughts on that? Any say? Selection of a candidate for the party. No, what thoughts on that? Any say?
Oh, say I no say any the biggest election. The national election I selected a presidential candidate. Any the biggest group almost selected. Because polling station executives national officers to aba, regional officers to aba, constituency officers to aba. But we have to move forward and make it all move. One man, one vote. Obian to aba. Every single MPP member or registered or membership card or triannual dues That time no Uncle to Aba in his electoral area. Because yes and no, it has become more democratic, any more inclusive, any more liberal. Because the foundations of our party is based on liberal democracy, is based on transparency, and is based on inclusiveness. So ma obia to abanoa a boa party no pan because conversation no be keen. Because who cause Zebila to meet, you are not going to Zebila to meet polling 5 people alone. Say maybe or more 400 polling stations times 5. And then you are going to meet the 400 polling station times 5 and then tell them say to abamao. This is a smaller who watch the number of votes are yenya Zebila no. And then watch polling station officers no. You see they're far ahead. So like you are going to meet only 2,000 people and ask them to vote for you. Meanwhile, in Zebila, we got over 10,000 votes. So let's say 10,000, 3,000 are just people are almost sympathizers and supporters. Then the 7,000 are members of their party. So now when you go to Zebila, you are going to meet 7,000 people. Now, 7,000 people, come and see whether you can give all of them 200 Ghana cedis.
To me.
So these are things that are vote buying, very alien to the party. And the only thing I ever address is our vote buying is to make everybody vote. And I tell you, if you are Elon Musk in Ghana, a very difficult amount to go and pay money to everybody in this country to vote for you. And so say yes or no, so that partner bet my electee the right people to lead. Was
Bawumia the right candidate to lead your party?
In my view, at that time, as elections and throughout the campaign, he was the right candidate. But I told you, no candidate can win an election on the back of a weak party. And that is how Bawumia got affected.
What suggests on some review?
No, we'll be jumping the gun.
Okay.
I told you, it's not about this time. It's not about national officers, any presidential candidate matter. We are rebuilding the party. Mistake, and we don't do the right thing and get the party informed and build the party and reorganize it and get everybody on board. And then at the end of the day, we take this weak party, go and choose a presidential candidate. Review.
Okay.
So this party is bigger than everybody, including the president and the presidential candidate and everybody. That is our party. Obianjai Bibia regroup it very well, get the party together and make sure we build a strong party. Timiko election 2028 and defeat the NDC and reclaim governance.
Mami, emfa test message kakramra ebusia yani honorable Musa Superior, former mayor of Tamale, former deputy minister for forestry commission, former CEO for deputy CEO for forestry commission. The NHK and Komo Afan Sama Hunya Pa. Test message Amori about Kwame Nkrumah. When himself some constituency no more operate without party secretaries. Some party chairman no crowd one organize any campaign rally be our man yebi conference be our man yebi or constituency. Sana assembly was say Kwame Nkrumah the MPP in our interview also were a good man pa. Despite Nema Bonia MPP a man or can a year George Otibunsu was our party at heart was what done pa catch and say what done when Uncle Pond the feeling in what be man empo sa guy na ye can wasem the Mercedes Benz no one fana de and command Dr. Calipo Nidia or the eba ye no was it obesimi musa say honorable e dey na wo ye ebra hu say strategy no en work no now your Tamale mayor how many votes and now they free north eba NS from Taifa honestly dey no programming we say a live big FM 96.7 Takrade opposite Bank of Ghana one also the buy was say this is Becky one also there or the eba no was Kwame a long time. Good job, Kakari Boniface. Nidia or deba no on the obechai. Was say busa honorable Mr. Superior say, if the leadership of the party is weaker, affected the party, more until affected campaign team, no, until why you can or say I'm joining the interview, okay. I mean, for no answer in Sigo. Was see, maybe a text message at Kakram. Good morning, Kwame Nkrumah. The third honorable member, our whole studio, no. In fact, what can he pa? Current executives, no, won't step down. And 10. Where the about was say, that come from Kukulantum, because that come from Kotumi. Was who see party, no, and to my ewa, but you are washing you are dirty linen outside. Sana or not area ba. What's coming, Kuma? Party members, you know. I see a boa woman pa no grievance, no concerns in the Comma Professor Michael Quick Committee, no. Was say I wish them all the best. Na next yama wa denta. Need the other by no. I will be say fu and I 2 moon. I can't papa because I know I'm say that to me because no means on Belusu. Gordon from Takrady. I say when you want to be minister. Hey Gordon, no. Where the other was coming from a chow, me our fans, but they be a material and a in fact, wunti me say we scasam the journalism school because you are my hero. God bless you. My friend Daniel could see Sabla, material live from Samuel Kev, opposite King's Bar, and also, I don't know. Oh. Me fa be me nu to aso na fe yensa ento aso okay 101.7 suni okroye bo abreman benin was one minority in parliament ni adwen nobody should honor the oral team no eno de no eno de aba was say there be a meti government appointee o mu complaining why we lost the election no ya na esa menfe kora esa menfe obetimi de ode na ba menfa master red kasoa o say was mummy asumtwaye na nipa ni nyina ka ho was it full soldiers so o man hwe o no e ka ho honorable na mama misa a question we going forward reforms ben na ufil se eye ebe bo amanyuko
for reforms no there I think say my indicating me conversations number one no, we have to make sure that Emma Obian Twaba from polling station, electoral area, regional, any national na no move so that omuma Obia Twaba no ebema your vote be inclusive, any wider and democratic, very very important. Now who say your electoral area hono you were only one person or your electoral area coordinator. Jumano too huge ama one person to be a coordinator of the electoral area. So me suggest say ye institute an electoral area executive and ye 5-member electoral area executive to be chairman, secretary, organizer, youth organizer. So that electoral area no so 5 no Ombe coordinating because their electoral areas are almost polling stations more than 5. Now say one person is doing the coordination no hard doing. So we should look at that. Now the other one will say elections are say all the most of the positions no we are na appointment. Now me no I don't think say right. Yema ubia contested except 2 positions. Now communications officer, any research officer no, because omono ye here expertise bia so that ye appoint you because of those expertise no. But we pass on your deputy youth organizer, deputy there. I say that positions no na omoma obia uncontested. So these are the reforms, and I said say your parliament no, ye per se parliament no ye strong. Na mbua part no, the parliament should be independent. Now, as soon as the National Council appoints the leadership of the Parliament, Parliament becomes a subservient of the National Council. Now, so the National Council, Parliament, the leadership will have to ensure, say, Parliament accept Now, omu choose omu leadership, they will be independent. Now, I tell you, say were very independent-minded institutions within the MPP. Now, every party becomes stronger. Now, and then a campaign team now make about the campaign team. Now, there are issues we should be looking at. So reforms, no, these are some of the things in my view, going forward, no, part no, and making sure say they are implemented.
And government appointees and also can be in Crawford Buffum pa in Tijuana woman to Aban.
No, not me can, but like I said, if you watch me public utterances a number of occasions my issue statement calling on the government to do the right thing. So I am completely absolved because nkasa at the time your government no. Then that's the time say Ubet man make case say na Musa superior time am government no then na one kasa. Then of course you can make a case. But on several occasions I have made points say this policy is not good, that policy is not good. Yeah, making sure say we do the right thing. Utility we shouldn't in fact the statement I issued on the PURC manner, I called on the government to reverse it. You can just go and Google it. Musa Superior calls out PURC on your Google. You will see the details. So I know, say people are angry and then lampy and together. Most of the CEOs, any deputy CEOs, no, they didn't go to campaign. Most of them didn't. One of them is the immediate past CEO of the Forestry Commission. He didn't go to a single place throughout the 20 people. And I'm wondering, Kwame, I know I'll let you talk. This man, he doesn't care about the party. Now I was wondering.
Because it was given to him on a silver platter.
I don't know where he comes from. Because me, in this party, hold on. In this party, I have never, since 1992, heard John Alute. Yes, party, and then you got the job through the party, and you disrespect party people. Who say, "Oh, you're deputy there. You are just yeah deputy. What can you do now? Party Forestry Commission, party for no bar. They come to me
because
exactly now, Misu. If I go and talk to this man, he will rubbish me. In fact, at a particular point in time, this man told me he's not here to do politics. And I realize it because throughout the 2024 election of Greater Accra, not a single constituency has only been to. I have been to almost every region. 3 regions are among.
Oh no,
I don't know. I don't know. So these are the issues. If the party is stronger, but you see, look at what the NDC is doing now. And I'm delighted about it. MMDCs, they put it in the hands of the party. Say, interviews and give them the names. This is what the MPP should insist. And if you don't have a strong steering committee, the president will not listen to you. Now, the president should be afraid of the steering committee. So that if the president doesn't listen
but you know, John Alotino, once a na will be rising through the ranks.
Which ranks? Of the MPP?
No, of the Forestry Commission.
I don't know how he got the job as a deputy. No, a deputy at the time of Sir John. No. Maybe Nimno. And then when Sir John died, may he so rest in peace. And I'm making a chief executive. Now this man, even people, Greater Accra region, the chairman secretary, he doesn't even know them. Now, who appoint you or be like this to be CEO of a strategic institution like Forestry Commissioner? Say now, if you look at most of the people are almost free abroad. Look, Miko London in 2002. I think November 1st, 2002. 2nd November 2002, me enrollee as an MPP member of the UK branch. 2nd November, I searched for them and I enrolled as a UK branch. And I'm sure my colleagues are almost Ghana, they will attest to that.
Wow.
A lot of people are almost free abroad. And then they have been giving jobs around this country. They've never been members of the branches are almost free. Most of them have never been members. How they got the job, I don't know. Now, we disrespect to our party structures.
Because
nobody knows that. They are there. They are all over the place. And when you come to them, it's very difficult. Oh, minimum, but it is not. It won't be fair. Now, and I looked in because I was there and I saw the kinds of things are all here, and this party has come down. This man, he will not listen to anybody.
Why more party for no?
Yes, one more party for no, or say the chief of staff. He had told people, say, oh no, nobody can do anything to him because his friend is the chief of staff. Now chief of staff says, yeah, we. Where is the chief of staff now?
President Mahama ba appoint to be alcohol.
Yeah, forestry commissioner. Of course, because establish board no. In fact, all of them, because me my judge man. In fact, as soon as we lost the election, I went and took my things. In fact, days before the elections, my judge, all these government appointees who are still hanging around the departments, hanging here. What is it? Whether you like it or not, at the end of the day, on you. So these are the problems, and we need a strong party to interrogate these matters. Because nobody, the president cannot just come and lo and behold, without consultation of the steering committee and say that, yeah, appointee ABC. No, we got to let the president know. And I tell you, the next national executive committee of their party, some of us will insist they do the right thing. If the president appoints somebody without consultation, then the party will withdraw the support for the president. The president cannot do anything without the MPP. I'm telling you. And as a party, no issue statement and say that we should all withdraw our support for the government. Nobody should go and communicate for their party. Where will the government get people to communicate for them? So it should be important. Say, there was strong steering committee. Now, that steering committee, and the safeguarding party, this party has been abused. Now, abuse our party, it's not the best. So if you free abrochria or pejuma, you should route it through the branch of the party wherever you are coming from. Now, our party no be recommendation to the party headquarters in Accra. Then they will send your name to the presidency. You cannot say that your friend is Asante Bedie too. Your friend is Gabi.
But I no cross a bedroom baby no. Na nipa be for be pe na what government more on appointments.
Mati, I've heard it. I've heard that the most powerful people in the government are informal. Mati say Gabi Chidako, Nana Asante Bedie too, Ken Oforiata, and then Nana Dunya friend Bumpty,
and then Nana himself.
But there's this other lady, one year Mapachino. He has not done any work for this party, never campaigned for this party. But they be Oti, Jubilee House, or you're very rude to party people. Your friend Sarah to attack. These people should not be allowed to conduct themselves in that manner.
And in there.
Now, her job is finished. He was there being rude. I hear he's not very well. And, and I pray for him. But he's a very bad man. No, yeah, terrible person. Say one time I went there. No, say on your politics. So you tell me where you have ever seen Asante Bedie to our campaign my MPP. With Gabi there, we can credit Gabi. Anybody who says Gabi and Yejuma,
Juma.
Gabi is a strategist, very intelligent man, but he was overdoing it in government. But apart from Gabi, all those people are Asante Bedie to Sarah Tuatan, all these people. Where from them? So the party should keep track. We have to have a tracker to be able to check the party for our Bojumama party, so that when we come to power, these are the people who should be in government. Competent, loyal, dedicated party people are. They should be in government, so that they can look after your party people. And I'm telling you, Mohammed's announcement, appointments are all demonstrate argument are me making. We need our party people to be in sensitive positions in government. Sami Jamefi, the national communications director, he's just been given a lucrative job at PMMC. Big job. Huge responsibility.
Wow.
Now, yeah, we are out there called Google or duties. And then you will know that is the way you look after a party. So that they are there, they will concentrate on building their party, they will look after the country, and 2028, if we don't do well, they will win again. And if you go and bring people like Alote, and then there are some names I don't want to mention. And I know the party people know these people. In the 2024 elections, I was all over the country. A few of the executives were all over the country. Majority of them were in Accra here. They didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. Now, such people, you make them chief executive, you won't find them. In fact, some of them were politicians, deep politicians, but they didn't go anywhere. Oh, they didn't go anywhere. One of them told me that, oh, but Musa, this thing, you know, it is clear that we have lost. And I say, I'm not going to mention his name, but I'm sure he knows what I'm talking about. And yet, so the steering committee of the party must take over the party and seize the party and make sure that every single person in the party, including the presidential candidate and his team, has to be in line. How is it that you run a campaign now? A campaign, there is no regular reportage by the campaign office to the steering committee. How? The steering committee should supervise every committee of the party. There was statutory committee and non-statutory committee. So our statutory committees, we have named them in the constitution.
Mamenyo thoughts on this. Now more director of communication for the party. Yeah. And I'm Musabenya, director of communication for the president's campaign.
It was unnecessary. I have already told you the bigger plan. The bigger plan is that the national steering committee, and all those they have appointed on the national steering committee should take over the management of the campaign. The current director of communications of the campaign, he would have been the director of communication of the campaign. And it amazes me that he was subservient. A whole director of communication of a party becomes subservient to a director of communication of a committee of a party. How can that make sense?
Say that again.
Me see, how can a whole director of communication of the party become subservient or servy under a director of communication of a committee, because the campaign is a committee of the party?
Yeah.
Every campaign team is a committee of the party approved by the National Council. So every officer of the party at the steering committee level, National Executive Committee level, National Council level is more senior than all members of the national campaign team. They are supposed to report to the party. So the people must be educated, and that is why I may carry constitution of the party around. Now say educating your people they will just leave the party for individuals, and then every single day for their own personal interest they will keep undermining this party, and that should not be on. So me, a time new drew. He says, reforms. Time new drew. Now people are coming out to contest elections. Me make it direct appeal to our party people around the country. Say, they shouldn't take the money, because at the end of the day, and say take the money and go and vote for wrong people. Vote strong people, and I tell you, very strong people will come out. Voting and then look at scorecard in the party. Juma in the party when they're in government. I tell you, tamale in 2020, who watch your results now? The number we got was over 30,000 votes. Okay. As mayor. Now 2024, I'm not mayor. The number has decreased to 16 to 17,000 votes. That is my scorecard. So that Obia Obisano 2020 Tamale Central. Now my number now it was 29,295. Tamale South, because there were two constituencies in Tamale Metro. Tamale South 25,544. In 2024, Musa Superior na me knew her as mayor. What is the number in Tamale Central? Number no abba from 29,000 to 20,000. 9,000 votes have gone.
Wow.
In Tamale South, from 25,000 to 18,000. That is the scorecard of Musa Superior. So Ubisa said, "Dear na me ma party no. I can't tell you what I did. This kind of votes as time I mayor no. But if you go to Tamale and ask, I was the only politician in this country I ran open surgery. Only the whole Ghana. I ran an open surgery between 5 p.m. and sometimes 10 to 11 p.m. every single day, Monday to Friday.
Wow.
Party people, Ghanaian citizens are what Tamale come and see me. Days that man run this program would be either weekends or now me chukwe. So this is my scorecard. So steering committee must insist that we get the party people, competent party people, because omoye Ghanaian. If you get how can anybody argue that a political animal such as the chief of staff, your friend was saying, Julius Debra, how can you argue that he can be chief of staff?
You can't.
You cannot make that argument because or you're competent and he's also a strong party person.
Yeah, former regional chairman of Eastern Regional Party.
That is why I say me enumerating way. Yeah, party man. So it's a party for no bar. He will think about them. He will think about them. You can't go and put people, and then when people come, they claim they are busy. Asenti Bedietu, you tell me, Musa Superior, that you are busy. When I was going around campaigning for their party, where were you? I wish him well. You can't tell me you are busy. You have to listen to me because
last time I know the motorcade they call club.
Maybe I don't know about that.
Yeah, I saw him.
All I'm saying is that they are almost here and my Lucy. So
the issue of croydism. Nana Asafu Mafo, advisor to the president, Neba Snit, here Kase crowd that's all. You bring your way, no one so the Nere Aqua, no way, and no a party.
Me, when it doesn't worry me if there's evidence that Omwaya Jumama party.
Oh, okay.
More qualifications. They are all qualified. But the other qualification that should put them there, no, I'm on Nibi. Look at this lady. What's the name? Akufo-Addo's daughter. The chief executive of the Ghana Creative. What is her name? Nkrumah. What is her scorecard? Juma Beno Yema Party. Me see, you can't do that. You cannot do that. Find the people who are working. And that is going to be the challenge for the next presidential candidate and the next president of the MPP. Because we will encourage the steering committee. The steering committee will take charge, not the National Council. So most of the decisions you have to be arrived at the steering committee. After all, the president is there, the presidential candidate is there, chairman of council of elders is there, leader of our group in parliament is there, all the elected members are there. What else do you want? How do you have to drag things to the National Council so that you can manipulate the council to take decisions in your favor? Omukoye review committee. They just came and then they announced their names to them. People want to talk, they won't be allowed to talk. And you say you are running a democracy. You cannot run a democracy in a manner you run a democracy. It's unacceptable. So, me encourage the party people, and I tell them that the spirit of Darocha is coming back. The spirit of BJ Darocha is coming back. The spirit of Papa Osu Nkrumah is coming back. The spirit of the Jake Obechebi Lamte is coming back. In fact, the spirit of J. Kufuor is already here with us.
Now, the spirit is here. Some say, Sabra, Wamudi, J.H. Mensa, Assembly Court. Now, one more sentencing. Na BJ Darocha was his lawyer. Party in Nkrumah shed him. Sabarima John Jekun Kufuor. Over them 1.5 years.
Yeah.
As a political prisoner.
Yeah. Yeah. So we need all the spirit to come back. Because among the real
BJ Darocha neba omoba power omo yendey.
I don't even know this.
Na
amount for bebremi kasa na almost see I am washing. Somebody said I'm washing the dirty linen of the party in public. What kind of illogical thinking is this?
We are bitter.
Bitter for what? I had jobs. Served as mayor, served as deputy CEO. What else do I want? I'm not bitter. They are bitter people. I mean, people who were sacked. If you were sacked and probably you are talking, somebody can say because you were, I haven't been sacked. Now, because I'm part of the government, say government no you're wrong, ma. I shouldn't correct them. Is that what kind of psychophancy is that? You are part of the government. I am prepared to get sacked. I am prepared to be booted out for saying the kinds of things me can. At the time I was an appointee of government. So that the party, we can build the party. So people should stop saying they say I'm accusing the party. I am not. It's a conversation. If you don't want to be part of the conversation to address some problems that ended up in this massive, horrific, disastrous defeat, allow people to do it. I'm not the only person doing it. Or is it because it's Musa Superior? There are other people doing it. And then they get the praises for doing it. But because Musa Superior is doing it, and therefore it's wrong, it cannot be wrong. All these people who have made this party suffer the way we have suffered, we cannot accept their apology. The only way we can accept that apology is for them to stand down so that we can say, the right people to come and take over.
But when you say na spiritual.
Spiritual in terms of omuye jujuana.
Aha, because ebano minim say prophet Owusu Bempa eba bonten be kan say the party no aye. No one challenge no 40% kro
Obwa. It's not any spiritual. It's not any spiritual. It's accumulation of the things that partner and the things that the government didn't do well. Voting now, you go and take money and vote a wrong parliamentary candidate. It will how. Now, if the parliamentary candidate is also encouraging bribery and corruption as our polling station level now, how is it that I hear a lot of aspirants went and give television, fridges? Now, the steering committee should monitor this and disallow that and name and shame people. Yeah? Even national executive election, all these things also. And then you say, oh, this man is good, but you know, one first you are
because Obiwa about 700 delegates. 5,000.
Check the person. Check the person. And these are the people, the oral people are chasing. And then you will tell me that, oh, oral need constitutional mandate and there. It is not about the president-elect has the right to say that I'm appointing people. If you have issue, come and report it to them. Now, if you haven't stolen any money or if you haven't stolen any land, why should you be afraid of oral?
Almost say, where did they draw their powers in the first
No,
place?
it is not like that. All those arguing like that, they are mischievous.
Okay.
The man is the president-elect or a Ghanaian. Look, Musa Superior, I can come and announce that I'm putting up a team together. If you know anybody has stolen government money, come on, Musa Superior, a common person like me, I can do that. The constitution does not stop me from doing that. They are not implementing anything. They are not doing anything judicial. In fact, they have announced, as soon as the Attorney General is confirmed, Omojuma, they will send the complaints to you a journalist. Who bet man announce you say unim obia say Okita state car, Okita state vehicle. On Babe reported. So sad there no omunjaika.
But
why are they afraid
born
of it?
out of political witch hunting?
I don't think so. What in witch hunting? I mean, me handy me vehicles. I think a week before the president had even announced say yanko handy a vehicle. What political witch hunting? If you have stolen government money, then of course you are going to be in trouble. If you are keeping government vehicle, you'll be in trouble. If you have done some form of corruption, you'll be in trouble. Because even if the oral is dissolved, the Attorney General will come after you. Do you get the point? So me, a party for almost stopping making these comments. It's as if you are making those comments as though anything wrong. And I am confident that majority of our party people didn't do anything wrong. So they should allow the oral to continue to do that. And the NDC, I am confident that they can't do anything. Mahama is already failed.
Why?
Oh, you don't know? He's failed completely. Number one. Number one. LB DN.
Yeah.
I can't even pronounce it.
LGBTQ plus.
You two are not even pronouncing it correctly.
Proper human sexual bill. Or
say or faith does not accept it.
Sure, that was it.
The president didn't sign the bill. Now say Adianoka. Or say yankoye national conversation about it. Flip-flopping. Very poor, very bad judgment. The president shouldn't do that. So that one, so I'm waiting for Sam George. But Sam George says that Mahama will know no peace if he doesn't sign the bill. We are waiting for Sam George. If Sam George is a genuine person.
The president, John Dramani Mahama, can say, say yetimi kyerɛ yɛ mmɔfra no ne
No, it is not. You shouldn't be saying that because he had already declared it unacceptable. He had told people in the eastern region, the clergy, that his fate, and then he will not accept it. So he should be speaking strongly against it. But he knows now the consequence. Because we have been slaves, the Americans and the British and the international communities are telling us what to do. So he's afraid. He's afraid that he may not get aid. And that is exactly what Akufo-Addo did. So we don't need unprincipled people to lead us. On the basis of that, Mahama has already failed.
Now, another one. A bill, no. The other one. Bill, no, has to be relayed.
No, it has to be relayed, but the conversation about it should be strong. You should reject it outright. Follow the rules, but we want to see the conversation strong. We want to see outright condemnation of the bill. We want to tell you that if you relay it and then it is passed by Parliament, you will sign it. Kwame. This is the kind of conversation, not flip-flopping. So his judgment is poor, and I'm disappointed in him. Number two, more policy. And the policy is talking about first-year student in Ghanaian tertiary institutions.
Yeah.
You have heard Clement Apak. Oh yeah, a key member of the NDC.
What can I say?
And a member of their education, I think he's a member of the education committee in Parliament.
Committee of Parliament, ranking member.
Or our policy not compulsory. Why didn't you indicate it clearly in the manifesto?
Pablo Kurabekan, the Yaman.
Why are you talking like this? Why are you disrespecting the Ghanaian people?
You'll be allowed to go for a loan.
No, that is not what they said. I will bring them, and in fact, it's in my car. Okay. It is very clear. Sir, academic fee for year one level 100 students for all tertiary students in the country. Free. Now today, you are letting your agents go around the country and talk the way they are talking, and we haven't heard the president issue a statement to say, no, what they are saying is not what represents me. So this one shows that this is a government that will collapse midway. I'm telling you, because they are dishonest, they are not right, Mohammed's judgment is poor, and that is not what this country wants. And that is why me rally MPP for, let's do the right thing, let's put our acts together, and I'm telling you Ghanaians will vote for us, because these people cannot be trusted.
General Secretary now,
General Secretary says an position. I mean, why would the right thinking person look for a position this time? Reorganization. 2 years to elections.
Yeah. Now, Mama, so, what can President Mahama asem? Policies be the 24-hour economy nunie. Ono baba yeme about the youth connect policy no job obe creating me ade identical or the Pablo akwakoto ho for youth and employment no me ade. It is okay say only 2 weeks kura so afa na oyiyi ni nkrofo a.
No, me I am saying say two decisions are two things are more here, and I have lost confidence in them because everything is about honesty and fairness and transparency. They are more now for creating the youth development ministry from the Ministry of Youth. I think there's a laudable idea because concentration beba on the youth development. Says nasa sports no AG the whole ministry. But so it is a very laudable idea. Say Mahama has created the sports ministry. But going forward, 24-hour economy, it is unworkable.
Unworkable.
We are run 24-hour economy is run by the private sector.
Banks will run. What passport officer? Backlog we move back.
24-hour economy is not even run. 20% of that 24-hour economy, 80%, it's not even run in the US. You say, you will go when you go in the night. You go around wherever you go. I don't want to tell people where you are going. You go around wherever you are going and see whether there are people working there. Factories. Before you do the 24-hour economy, there should be employable institutions. There should be institutions to employ people. But you can't go and tell the ministries to run 24 hours. You can't come and tell private people to run 24 hours. And who will pay the workers? Huh? Which company will pay the Uber running shift? Are you for 7-member staff in the morning, 7-member staff at night? Is government going to pay the 7-member staff that is being recruited by the company? So for 24-hour economy is a sham. And I tell you, they will struggle to do it because something that is realistic, it cannot be achieved in our circumstance right now. Because no catch the whole world say this is a devastated economy, an economy that is struggling, an economy that is completely gone. So we are waiting for them. And I'm telling you, mark it. Even Mahama is going to struggle to form a government.
Why?
Wait.
Ministers in way.
Wait and see. Government is not about ministers. Cabinet. He says he has 14 days to finish his cabinet. Post. How many days left for 14 days? Some few days. We are waiting for him to finish his cabinet and things like that. He's got to do the balls and everything and make sure that he says 90 days he should form a complete government. If he does that, I will give him a score on that. If he does that 90 days, he's able to put in every single government personnel in government. I will give him a score on that. But 90 days, I will come and tell you that he hasn't finished. Who they mark it? You see, you can't take Ghanaians for granted and speak the way you spoke and lambast at because our president was not listening to the people. And they exploited our advantage, and undermined the collectivity.
Your president wasn't listening.
He wasn't listening to anybody. If he was listening to people, National Cathedral, another flip-flop cry. You, John Mahama, you and your agents and everybody. Now we will condemn National Cathedral, which was in right order. Now today you are saying, we'll talk and see how we are going to build the National Cathedral. That is totally wrong.
Oh, Sanya,
no, the way they condemned the National Cathedral, and they said that it was a corrupt thing, it was an avenue for corruption. And then most of the spokesperson of the NDC.
Honorable, we say 8 million.
That's what I'm saying. It is wrong. And some of us, I spoke to a senior member of the party, and I'm sure Otia or who that to tell the president said this was not right. How can you tell people, you are building a national cathedral and this one is a private thing, you are going to solicit money from the Ghanaian people, any other sources to build it, and then some huge sums of money, over $50 million of the Ghanaian taxpayer, has been invested into this project. And any infrastructure, in fact, the Christian community collectively have declared it a program that is completely unhelpful for the Christian kingdom. And Mahama, you condemn it, your assigns condemn it, your communicators condemn it, Obia in the NDC condemned it, and then they say it was the biggest hole, and that if they come, they were going to stop it. In fact, a lot of people suggested there, my hospital and clinic, all kinds of things. And today, Mahama says to the whole country that, no, we are going to see how we can work together and build a national cathedral. That is another poor judgment. If you speak straight in government, you have to speak straight. Opposition, you have to speak straight in government so that people can have confidence in you. But we are not seeing that. So, our people, we need you back. Obia taking the time. Now, conversation, no cause. Nobody should stop anybody from making public criticism about their party. It is the way this party is born. We are a democratic party. Obia, otherwise it will create what we call silent withdrawal.
Matisse, why you be I will suggest say youth and volunteer mobilization is crucial in every election. Election, of course, we not BBC wrong.
It was totally missing. It was totally missing. You remember in 2016, now you were the loyal ladies. And these were motivated. Because a lot of them were abandoned in government. A lot of the loyal lady people, they come to my office at the Forestry Commission. They were abandoned in government. And then the youth all over the country. So when we say 2020 election, now we didn't have the youth effort, the volunteer groups. Now we in fact 2018, 2012, 2016. Now a volunteer group, and then somebody was coordinated even at the national level to coordinate the volunteer groups around the country. In this particular election, there was no such an appointment because there was absolutely lack of apathy in some volunteer groups across the country. So if you go on MPP WhatsApp platform, you will see the frustration. And we need to be pointful. This is the word of one of my boys. I say, pointful to the facts. And nobody, I mean, I don't really care. I have only one friend in MPP, only one. So if you say you don't like me, you are not my friend. You are not. I have only one friend. Just one.
Why?
He's called Kobe. He's one. Anybody I have met in their party, we have met because of their party. So,
he
was my boss. He's not my friend.
Oh, okay.
He was my boss. Very, very, very nice character. But there are issues. I mean, tell me, a lot of things. So you still want to bring issues. No, very, very nice character. Very, very competent, courageous, strong person. These are the people in the future. If they find space in their partner, people like Boachi Ajako, Asamoah Boateng, John Bredu and Co. These are the people.
So be trauma. Say, okay, when Munko in the interim, when the emphasis of Omegina chairman, as acting chairman, we may general secretary, acting general secretary, we a mayor acting treasurer.
No, your institutions are mandated by the constitution to do this kind of work. And that is the National Council I spoke about.
Okay.
So, and you see, it is very important to be careful about these things because look, disaster here we shouldn't go and repeat a team that will come and further give us more disaster. So you don't mention those names, but privately, if for example the National Council, if Omu resign privately, I will write to the National Council and say, in my view, these are the people I think. There are certain things, strategic communications. No, that is why in all through my conversation publicly, I mention anything strategic. Strategic communications run down quietly. But to critique a poor performance is the right of every member in a liberal democracy to do that. And the MPP is a liberal democracy. And everybody should be allowed to speak his mind on issues that all feel it has undermined the party. And that is how this party came together. When we were doing the Buzia Dankwa. 1991, 25 years, Musa Superior. I was a member of the Buzia Dankwa. Metamorphosing into MPP. At the age of 24, 25 years, I was a member. That was the time Rawlings came with the iron fist. And it was not easy. So that is why I'm able to tell you the stories of R.I. Alassane, Bawa Wema, and the rest of you, Stephen Kriku and Co.
Yeah.
Professor Albert Dubois, very strong, powerful people. And lately, Jacob Echebilamte, Alajete, Odoi Sykes. Oh, my goodness sake, Odoi Sykes. The man is not well. I wish him well. Odoi Sykes. Which presidential candidate or president can undermine him? No way. What? This is the kind of leadership we're looking for in there, so that everybody will be in line, so that a partner, a better organized party, and the party will become a bigger umbrella for everybody. The last oligarchy, we should never have something like that in the MPP. We should never ever have a small group of people managing the whole government and the whole party. Never in the history of this past should we do that. Never. And I'm making a direct appeal to our party people. Let's come together, together, work it together, and make sure that we get the right people. Now, getting the right people, they will stand for you. I'm telling you, before you become MP, president, it means that somebody in your local community, some little corner in your local community, no about your mama party.
Selection of parliamentary candidates. In December, no spell out these voter party. A football banner.
I say I am fairly. I say I make sure fairly.
Fairly as in what?
I'm making forms not available.
Okay.
All this disqualification. Me the only disqualification meetings are justifiable. Or be probably or pedophile.
Okay.
Number. Or pedophile is obia or I don't know how to say it. Correct, that's number one. Number two, our criminal record. Apart from that, obia.
But almost disqualify Madame Fubi. Adaya Christmas prior to primaries, Okoche Emoni and Wama party delegates.
These are the things that in the process of the yes and no. probably that should be another way discouraging, but to do direct disqualification, it will affect the party. Sometimes your strategy should be in a way to blindly look away from the reality. That is how strategy is all about. Now, if you do risk assessment and strategy development, it will tell you the MAKI. So that is why we need big heads, talented, smart individuals to lead this party, articulate, bold people. Now, if you don't have these kind of people at the top, every single day the party will be manipulated by a group of people. Every single day. Because the president will always be there and you have a small team. And the small team will undermine you. If you have a strong body, the president, nobody in the presidency should be talking directly to the general secretary or national chairman of the party. The president should do that.
Concerning appointments, Ebra mo aba ban mu no, wo su some constitution mo ye no bibia eyi.
Your constitution. Oh, that constitution. MPP constitution.
Mo aba ban mu. Then president no kwa na ye so le ya wa appoint to be a party ni say.
In fact, in the constitution, me catch out the role of the presidential candidate. No, only role behind the constitution. But is it that he has the power of the Ghana constitution? So way and your statute, way and your law. But the Ghana constitution is the law. The MPP constitution is not a law. So, no. The only way the president will listen to us is for us to tell him, say, if you deliberately make this party weaker, we will withdraw our support for you. Here, this kind of discussion to go on, so that the presidential candidate would know that if you come in and think that, oh, you have got the job and therefore our party is useless, how can a president go to a place, all reduced so, and somebody has called in to say that, Mr. President, if you don't do my rules,
the Kwabri roads,
that's Ashanti region. Mean to Abama MPP, and the president has the audacity to say, oh, say Kokromotuni Ayodia, you can go and vote NDC. In fact, this is the most unacceptable behavior of a member of a party. Now, or the president under Article 3, in case I am Pamno. Yes, because he's working against the interests of the party. But he's president. So these no, but you don't do that. You are president. Every member of the party, your job is to go and galvanize support for the MPP. So, and that is why you should be patient. Your temperament should be down. Campaigner, whatever people tell you, tolerate it, because who here or move vote. Now, if we are MPP campaigner, now call baby, now be cast and now now who here no vote, then he will take his vote away. And who yes or no, you are going to decrease the numbers we saw. You have a president who is carrying chairs all over the country.
Osa ba kokura, yes, we are director of culture. Okoye on a bonsa.
What's the meaning of that? Muhammad did that a little bit in the first time.
On Land Cruiser or Timo.
The chair.
Debbie, Bako, there Bako, on the bonsa, and our Tenacia, no Abema appellations. Your man, a whole Land Cruiser.
Look, Miami research across Africa and some parts of the world. I have not and never seen. But you see, time Obabe handed over, no, he was sitting on an ordinary chair. He didn't sit farmer. Yes, he sat on the chair that Obia CTN. Oh yes, I know. Offended a lot of people. And it makes the party becomes a ridicule institution. So when you but God willing, he's done his job. I'm here to say or Lipa or running for president and vice president. I have heard that. But I have heard that. A very reliable source say or his people. But I am just, president is my father. I'm just telling him, sir, he should enjoy his retirement in peace.
By a party member or only party?
No, he has the right. He has the right to support. But I'm telling you, he should behave like Kufuor.
Oh, Papa no onim. Okon wo jane chi. We ya anye yi nti oni pa.
He should behave like, he should be fair. He should not Even if he's doing that, he should do that extremely, extremely quietly. But to start talking to people, say something because I have heard, say wakasa and from a reliable source. He has his president, he has people he want to become presidential candidate and vice presidential candidate. I think that talking was not right. It was inappropriate.
If he wants to enjoy his peace.
Yeah, if he wants to enjoy, because you see, the moment he goes into this politics, a lot of people are going to come after him. And that will not be fair. I don't like my former president or one retirement and then there are a lot of issues. I don't like it.
Now, our president not
not really. Not really. I mean as Deputy Chief Executive Forestry Commission. And I'm very grateful to him, say, at least in the 2 terms as Mayor of Chamale. And I deserve it. It was a deserving appointment. Not like the Nkrumah one. And as NTBD 2 one. Now, Juma Ben Omuyeye. Akufo-Addo, I worked for him, I campaigned for him, my family voted for him. I have been campaigning for the MPP since 1992.
Bedi atu osebia wo penipa trust no ono so a lawyer ni chese eba sen nkrata atworo ne ade ade.
He's not the only lawyer in the MPP. There are lawyers Omubojumama party no. They should be doing those jobs. Haven't you seen Mahama, Callistus Mahama?
Yeah.
He has appointed a typical political animal to be his executive secretary.
Very good.
He is no, in fact, Osania, or sign letter or executive secretary. That is a strategy to tell people that I'm just a secretary. But as in TBD, they be executive secretary. Callistus or a political animal, papa. So all the people around him, spokesperson, probably. I tip him to become communications minister, spokesperson, acting spokesperson, aide, Bawa, Callistus, chief of staff. Do you get me?
Sure.
These are all politicians who know the MPP and the NDC and the NDC. So I say, I'm working hard so that we can get our party people motivated. And the motivating is that this party is your party. Nobody owns their party more than the grassroots members of their party.
Okay.
Now, and Kasa. And this conversation, until such a time that we think, say, the party has come back to point. Mm-hmm. And then they regroup it proper. And then, of course, we start taking on the NDC. Okay. Look at the communications department across the country. It was totally down because they were looking for help. Omunya. How can you have a communications team? They can't even buy a car in government. And I'm suggesting that they should be supported by the party and government to buy a car. Go and look at our party headquarters. And look at NDC. NDC were in government. They built their party headquarters. They spent $3 million to build their party headquarters. Who the mamin kasa? Send me na me interview no. And we have been in government for 8 years, and we are living in that shambolic building.
Oh.
In fact, under normal, proper health and safety laws, nobody should live in that building. Say look at the corridor. Now, our corridor, if there's a fire outbreak and we have over 50 people in the building, how do you go out? There will be a stampede. Look, these are facts. If NDC can spend $3 million to build an office, when we are building the office, they can't say anything because we will ask them, where did you also get the money to build the office? The next steering committee of their party should build an office for this party. And I will be the lead advocate for it. If we're in government, we should build the office. NDC, they are there making noise. Where did they get the $3 million to build the office? Or can they answer? Oral should go and look for them. Oral should investigate. And that should be a big story for you. And I want to see it in your portal. Oral should investigate how the NDC got $3 million to build an office. They should declare it for the Ghanaians if they say they are transparent and incorruptible. They should declare to Ghanaians.
Wow. Honorable, you have
I mean, the point is that finally, no, me say a party Obia take it down. And I wrote an article. I'll remember with the article now. I will say we will rise again. Unity is very, very important. Mumo Obia and Kasa. Now Kasa we will put our acts together and come back. MPP never dies. MPP never dies. A government dies. Example is just what happened. How this government collapsed. But the MPP is hanging on. Nobody's now talking about our Akufo-Addo government. Now we are talking about our party. So we are here motivation so that we can win again. And I don't care who is the presidential candidate. Let's build our party. At the end of the day, say Ghanaian citizens of the MPP decide, say, Kwame is the candidate, and Chris is the candidate, then I tell you.
But His Excellency, Nana Akufo-Addo, we need right to say, but me can say, experience is the best teacher. Me Gidi say, me swam a party for candidate, me we win yet presidential candidate, we any advice.
You shouldn't do that. If you want peace in our party, I want to retire peacefully. A very harmless advice. Or person want to retire peacefully, you shouldn't get involved deeply. Quietly, he can be doing strategic things with his boys, and probably they will select people they want. I don't have a problem with that. Publicly, no. Publicly. Kufuor, His Excellency John Ajekum Kufuor conducted himself excellently. I think he should be guided by the conduct of Kufuor. So primaries when you now Kufuor out publicly to support. It was after the primaries, and of course he has not all right to declare the support for Dr. Bawumia because Kufuor or a member of the MPP. But in the course of the primaries, no Obian who said Kufuor was quiet. Nobody had said or say Opewe and now Opewe. No, he didn't say that. That is statesmanship. That is respect for the position you have just earned, former president. So my appeal to Akufo-Addo is that, and I love him. He's a fantastic man. My appeal for him is that he shouldn't allow anybody to come and as I talk no enjoy because Okasa IP. This thing that I said, I hear he said it at the Jubilee House at the time he was president. So my final point is there. NDC, we don't pray for them to fail because as a patriotic Ghanaian, no, you shouldn't do that. But I'm telling you, they are not competent than our people. We are better managers of the economy than them. They are better propagandists. We are better propagandists than us. So if we come together and choose a proper party leadership, party, no, and then of course, call 2028, win and win well, and then we can return to govern. Now, you're a governor, like you said. I heard you before when I was coming. Say, John Mahama is carefully making appointment because of the mistakes he did. Now, maybe when we come back again, the next president of the republic will not carry a chair around. Will not instruct chiefs to wake up and greet him. Will listen to people when they say the National Cathedral project is terrible.
And for being two board chairman, so only 8 years.
Your cabinet reshuffle, see when your cabinet reshuffle. Are they the only people who have worked for this party? Are they the only people? Are they the only people?
Debbie.
So, sir, the next president of the republic would, and if some of us are alive, it won't be easy for him.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, Rabbi. It won't be easy for him. We will remind him. We will criticize him. Maybe, very soon I'll retire. Retire. What do I need? Very soon I'll retire. I will be 60 in a couple of years' time. And then what do I need? I don't need anything. All I need is for the tradition to move on so that I can be happy, so that we can make people like Bawa Wema, Adam Gariba, Alaji Salifu COP, Stephen Kreku, Gladys Asma, Alaji Aliu Mahama, Odoi Sykes, Peter Alajete. We can make them happy in their graves. And those who are alive, they would be smiling in their homes.
Papa Mamena wasi.
Misumidasi, Nyamishrew.
So, Honorable Musa Superior. And I know Eddie in common. Now, Komoy, a friend of conversation, I shall say, ye beba in due time. Naya Saba Betwasun, near ma, a beboa MPP, Amanyukono, Naya di Hong Komo. Yama mu nyina moniti a oje ya refrem Ade Akye Abia no Kwame Tikese morning show president of the Lambi Prodo Pen Kwame Usudio mi wote akoso agwo aboaje nka na ya sori so na ya kram. Up next, best entertainment.